All right, welcome back to the party, everybody. I am your host, Lutch, aka the Indian Jesus, here to resurrect the second coming of common sense. Everybody hit that like and subscribe. You know I would do it for you. And let's party. Big shout out to the replay gang. Thank you so much for coming back to watch this. Even though you missed the live party, guys, that is the best part. So make sure you are here every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern, and sometimes whenever I feel like it. So hit that subscribe, ring the bell, and you will never miss an Indian Jesus live party ever again. If you'd like to support the channel, head on over to TheIndianJesus.com for your very own official merch. Guys, we do also have a free Discord server. That is where we are going to build this community. It's not just about coming here and watching stuff. Make sure you join the community. It's absolutely free. However, if you do join as a member of this YouTube channel, you can scroll right below the video, hit that join button there. We have a bunch of different levels, but it starts at just $3 a month. And it not only gets you members only live streams here on YouTube, but it also gives you full access to the Discord server, which includes the after party. We go into a voice channel after every single Monday, Wednesday, Friday stream. And we don't have to worry about, the YouTube censors or anything like that. And you are not stuck behind your keyboard. You're actually on screen with me and everybody else. It is a good time. Come and join us. So I don't know if you guys know, but our MAGA man himself, Donald Trump, was on a live stream with kick streamer Adin Ross. And I'm pretty certain this is the first time we've ever seen something like this. And I mean, obviously, there's been live debates and live things on TV, but in terms of just sitting in front of a camera and doing this like this, I'm pretty sure this is the first time they did it. So I am very excited to dive in. Shout out to Nick Luchetti. Welcome to the party. We also got Burner Popcorn account. Welcome. And of course, we do have the running poll. Will Trump win the popular vote for 18 to 25-year-old voters? Yes or no? Let me know in the comments below. And as always, guys, if you cannot hear the video, please do let me know.
I say you're a true hero for this country, and I really appreciate you. And yeah, I'm really thrilled we can do this today.
I'm so happy now that I'm doing it. give me it. That's great.
I do. So do you know what live streaming is on these platforms?
More or less, yeah.
Boomer.
It's the new wave.
It's the new wave. I'm gonna explain it to you, right?
Okay.
So I'm gonna show you this chat right now. Let me show you this. So this is the live chat.
Right.
So you already broke the website in 5 minutes.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you broke it. The chat wasn't working. But we ended up fixing it. It's just very slow. Everyone in the chat say hello. You guys just put hi in the chat, and W's mean it's good. W means win. So
win.
they're putting W's and stuff. Yeah, W Trump. All right. So yeah, everyone is just super thrilled.
You're gonna have big ratings today. I can see it.
Yeah, I want to break 1 million. I think we could do it.
Oh, good.
They do. They talk a lot of policy and stuff in the beginning, and then they have a little bit of fun later. But I do really think, the lens. I always want what's the lens that we're looking at this through? The idea that again, this is groundbreaking. That we just haven't had this type of format with a president before. I mean, the closest thing would be like Tulsi Gabbard on Joe Rogan, but even still, that's quite a high level of production. And I mean, even though I'm not a fan of Adin Ross, he's I think like the biggest kick streamer or up there. And so yeah, it's just really cool to be able to see this. And then of course we know that his audience is going to be much younger than the average person who pays attention to politics in general. So this is huge for reaching these kids.
Too much more.
You think so?
I think so. Yeah.
Oh, I'm excited. I'm thrilled. Elon actually already he commented on
Thank you.
The X post that I went live.
Shout out to King Nirvana. Spoiled Hot D last week. I have not seen the finale yet, so if anybody does spoil it, you're banned. So thank you. Welcome to the party. Burner said, very glad to see the Trump team court the Gen Z male demographic. Absolutely. And I mean, I actually put this in the description along with the video if you don't want to hear my commentary. But I put in the description that this has the potential to be almost like when Obama first was posting on Facebook. Like that was just not a thing that was done, like online social media. That wasn't really how politicians worked. And obviously now entire bills are passed on Twitter and all of that stuff. So I really think this is going to be, at least has the potential to be big.
Well, Elon is a great guy.
Yeah, he's great.
He's really a fantastic person. little imagination he's got, doesn't he?
Yeah.
They fixed the
Rockets,
audio.
tunnels, and
Yeah.
everything. He's a fantastic guy.
He's great. So let's get started today. Let's have some fun.
Let's go.
We'll touch base on some topics, and then we'll do some fun stuff.
Sounds good.
Cool. Let's have a
Let's
good time. All right. Well, the first thing is, the reason why, I really wanted to make this stream happen is because there's a lot of people that are first-time voters watching today.
Mhm.
And I want to make it very clear to everybody that you're a human being. You're a great human being. And I want you to basically talk in this camera, talk to them and explain why it's very important as a first-time voter to go out and vote and why they should vote for you.
Good place to start. Good place to
I'd
start.
love to do that, and I love having a young audience. This is young. I think you have some oldsters too, because I also know some oldsters that are listening and watching. But it's about the American dream. Right now, you don't have the American dream. We have a country that's not respected, a country that's being laughed at, a country that just a little while ago we're having a stock market explosion in a negative way as opposed to a positive way. And that's been happening for quite a while. It's been simmering and really happening for quite a while. And we're going to make this country so strong and so great. And when you're ready for your job, you're going to get a great job, so you can make the kind of money this guy's making, maybe even more if that's possible. Right?
I'm trying to get like you, boss.
But you'll love your life and you'll be successful. And at a young age, it's really wonderful to think about the American dream. And with Kamala and Joe, I took him out. We had a debate, and the debate didn't go so well for him. And he sort of what they did, it was really a coup of somebody. He had 14 million votes. He had it. And all of a sudden they went to him and they said, we don't want you running anymore. And it's sort of like a prize fight from my standpoint. You're focused on this one man.
Right. And
all of a sudden you're fighting somebody else, but she's actually worse than he is. And you're starting to see that. I think people are going to see that it's going to be very evident. So go out. We want the American dream. We're going to give you the American dream, and you're going to be real happy. Thank you.
I have another question. And again,
I love how he says thank you, like that it's the end of a speech. And that's exactly what I mean, that this is going to be, obviously Trump is a media person. He's got that personality. But this specific context is very different than anything that he's done before. And then I also think that it's, something that I want to look out for is how, if he was on even Joe Rogan, like I was saying, that, Joe knows that, like, okay, I got to, do this and that and whatever. But like Adin's just here for the views, for the chat. So I think that he would be a lot more willing to kind of say the things that other people wouldn't be willing to say. Now, does that mean that he's going to have the best things to say? No, but I think the authenticity is going to be big. Shout out to Carl Johansson. Welcome to the party. Said Trump is targeting young men who've never voted or normally would not, especially among minorities. He knows the woman vote is mostly lost, so get what you can. It is a smart strategy. Agreed. Welcome to the party.
We're going to give you the American dream, and you're going to be real happy. Thank you.
Thank you.
I have another question. And again, Mr. President, I'm not.
He's like, wait, that wasn't it?
Fully into politics, but I'm getting there, and I do want to make this very clear as well. Now it's on my mind. Back when I was I went to high school in California, okay? And a lot of the
look at the response on his face.
I went to high school in California.
Okay?
And a lot of the teachers were basically at the time, this is your first term. They were telling me how horrible a person you are and all these things. And the teachers, you're not supposed to do that. It's inappropriate to have teachers, discuss politics in school. But it's becoming really normal for a lot of teachers. And you're a kid. When you're a kid, your brain is like a sponge.
That's true.
So I want to know what your thoughts on that. Kind of the corruption in the school system in a way. They're teaching some pretty bad stuff in there.
Hey, shout out to Adin. That was well articulated. I mean, I would be nervous as hell, and he's not. He's not as bad as that XQC guy, but well done. Burner Popcorn account said young men should be concerned about being drafted and forced to fight in pointless wars. Yep. Very much so. Very, very much so. And I mean, even we also see in Ukraine that, depending on how far it goes, it might not just be young men.
Thoughts on that, kind of the corruption in the school system in a way. They're teaching some pretty bad stuff in there.
It's been brainwashed to a certain extent. Even the teachers have been brainwashed. They've learned from a long time. This is long before me. This liberal way, or now they call it progressive. They don't like the term liberal. They're not allowed to use that anymore, so I usually use it. But this liberal way that they have, and it's a bad thing for the country. We want to have borders.
See, the mic's right here. If they just slid it right over there and pointed it right there, you'd be perfect.
We want to have low taxes. We want to have great schools, really, great schools, so you can go and learn and be successful and have a wonderful life and all of that. But we want to have a good military so we can protect ourselves
Of course.
from some bad players. You got some bad players out there. And, you know, it's interesting. During my 4 years, we had no war. Other than we had nothing. Everybody.
No new wars. And yeah, Bernard's and Aiden's questions were better than the mainstream journalists, and totally serious. Yeah, so I don't know if you, I typically don't watch the entire thing of something. When I bring it to you, I just, watch a little bit to see like, okay, this is legit to cover. I was listening to this in the car, so I did get to see this, and Bernard Popcorn account was the one who reminded me that this was going on. So we're in for a good time, guys.
And, you know, it's interesting. During my 4 years, we had no war. Other than we had nothing. Everybody was afraid we were going to have wars. And just the opposite. North Korea, I remember Barack Obama was telling me, oh, the biggest problem we have is North Korea. I didn't have a problem with North Korea.
No.
Big nuclear presence. I didn't have a problem. The only war we had was already started long ago, and that was ISIS. And I defeated them in a very short amount of time.
Third watch. You're putting a lot of pressure on me to bring you something new. I'm trying. Link finally working on Xbox brought me to Discord. I'm not up to date with how things work. Out of curiosity, if I wanted to watch the stream from Discord, is that an option? So technically yes, but not directly. So you could share your screen in the voice channel, but you'd still have to have the stream open. When Harley's around, she does that. So she goes into the voice channel and she'll have the stream open, and then you guys can watch it, do as like a watch party. So if you have the capability to share your screen and you want to do that, absolutely. I do ask that you keep that anybody who watches from Discord does keep a tab open. That watch time really helps. But yeah, that is definitely a possibility. After the show tonight in the after party, we'll talk about how to set that up. So if you want to do that in the future.
Long ago, and that was ISIS, and I defeated them in a very short amount of time.
I remember.
Very quickly. And we had no wars under the Trump administration, and that's a great thing. That's a really great thing. It was, I think, 82 years since that's happened, and we won't have wars again. But we could have a war before we even get there. That's the problem. We have
already
a number of months. We have 4 months, and the election's starting very soon, and I guess 5 months before you actually get in. And a lot of damage can be done in 5 months by incompetent people. We have very incompetent people right now. And I'm not saying that out of happiness. I'm saying that out of sadness, because our country's in tremendous danger, not only of stock market crashes or depressions or whatever it may be. It's a tremendous military danger. We have Israel's blowing up. The Middle East is blowing up. Russia's going wild with Ukraine.
Yeah, they're saying they're expecting some type of attack from Iran on Israel, or so I heard. I don't know. When it comes to the geopolitics stuff, I never know how anybody knows who to trust. But that's what I heard. Burns had also watched Chicks on the Right, and I'm looking forward to the Gen X women's reactions. All right, not familiar. I'll have to check that out.
We have Israel's blowing up. The Middle East is blowing up. Russia's going wild with Ukraine. And things are out of control. And we have nobody that knows how to talk. We have nobody that knows. I was watching when Russia was thinking about going in, and they never would have done it with me. They didn't. But they never, after I got in, they started loading up the border. I thought he was doing it for negotiation purposes. And Biden said all of the wrong things, everything wrong. And ultimately they attacked, and they wouldn't have done that if I were president. So we got to get back in and get it straightened out. We'll get that one worked out.
100%.
A lot of people dying.
Yeah, it's a lot of innocent lives being lost. You had mentioned, the stock market crashing. I don't know if you obviously, I saw the post you made on your app Truth.
Oh, this is what I mean about Adin being willing to, not put on airs. But there's also the, just the lack of experience. He's not a political guy as much as he has these conversations, like little things about like, I don't know if you saw the stock market. It's like, bro, it's Trump.
Oh, the stock market crashing. I don't know if you obviously, I saw the post you made on your app Truth. What I just saw yesterday and the day before, I'm in crypto and I'm in stocks myself.
Right.
And I couldn't believe what's going on. You have Japan, you have everybody just falling. And I want to ask you, how do we basically get it back up and flowing and back up and running? And, and what's causing this?
Well, right now you have no confidence. You have somebody that now is taking over from Biden because he just wants to stay in bed all day.
And again, an actual question. better than you would get from mainstream media.
Get up. He wants to stay in bed. It was a fraud. They tried to tell people he was competent. He knew what he was doing. And in the debate, he was adjudged to be not so good.
Yeah.
But you can go back 4 years too. He campaigned from his basement. He didn't campaign. I said, where is this guy during COVID? They used COVID as an excuse not to let him talk.
Yeah.
The whole thing was a fraud, and everybody knew it, and they knew it strongly. And we're going to get it going again. We have to get it going again. They put us in a very bad position. The worst thing is we have probably, I think, 20 million people came into our country with open borders, and many come from prisons. And you can be a liberal, and your people can be, but coming from some of the meanest prisons all over the world, not just South America, from all over the world, from the Congo and Africa, they come from all over the world. They're coming, and they're releasing their prisoners into the United States. Now, you can be a liberal guy, you can be progressive as anybody in the world, and you can't think that's a positive thing.
No.
They're coming out of mental institutions. They're pouring into the United States, and they're hurting and damaging our country, and they're killing our people. And the crime rate with what you're talking about and what we're talking about, we call it migrant crime. It's a new form of crime.
I think this would be one of the biggest wins for the Republican Party, and burgeoning the new right and moving away from the GOP is some type of plan to reintroduce mental institutions or asylums, or whatever, in a way that would actually work. I think not only does that address crime, not only does that address mental health, but it just a very clear, as he was just talking about, it's so clearly needed. And yeah, Carl's saying that even when it's tanking, it's still overpriced. So I mean, you can take that as a good or a bad. Run in in the bull market, it might be a dip, but we're still doing all right. Carl said usually silver would go up in this stock market environment. That's how you know silver and gold are overpriced or in a bubble. What isn't in a bubble? What isn't in a bubble?
With what you're talking about and what we're talking about, we call it migrant crime. It's a new form of crime, and it's a very violent crime. And it's going to take on proportions, the likes of which this country has never seen before. And remember, these people are just getting accustomed. These are people coming out of mental institutions, prisons and jails, and many terrorists. We're having record numbers of terrorists coming in. So I'm talking, I assume, mostly to a young audience, but a young
I'm not familiar with the story.
Audience, no matter where they're coming from, they can't be happy about this.
No, they can't. Jobs are being taken, a lot of crime. So what President Trump, what do we do to fix that issue? What if I happen to be born in another country and I want to come the right way? How would that work?
Again, notice how this young kick streamer is doing better than the mainstream media. Like, clearly this is meant to be a puff interview, but he asked a direct question, what should we do? And Trump didn't answer that question. So he just answers or asks the question again. Why is that something that we are saying like, oh, wow, you did so good. You asked a question. Like, that's how low the bar is for media. And guys, really quick, if you do me a huge, huge favor and hit that like button, it is free, it is easy, and it helps out so very much. Thank you.
Well, that's what we want. We want people to come in, but they have to come in through a system, through a legal system. And, one of the things that's unfair is we have hundreds of thousands of people that have applied to come in, and this administration doesn't talk to them.
Right.
But if they walk through the southern border, they have no problem getting in. I don't even know why they're doing this, but some people are waiting 10 years to come in, and they've studied. They learned all about the United States, about our Constitution, about everything, and they're not being let in, and we're allowing people to come in from really rough places, really bad places, and they come in through caravans, and these caravans have 10, 20, 30,000 people, and they're pouring through Mexico.
That's crazy.
And so when the liberal mind hears this, they're like, well, they're from bad places, therefore they shouldn't be in America. It's like, no, they come from bad places, so they have a very different culture, and we want to make sure that if they are coming to America, that they share the values that we do. It's pretty simple.
Crazy.
And Mexico was great when I was there. They were helping us. I had stay in Mexico. You can imagine what that is. That means you have to stay in Mexico. You can't come into this country until we approve you. They gave it up. Now they just walk right in. Wow. They had catch and release. We had catch and release. That's you catch a criminal and you release them into our country. I said, no. We catch a criminal and we release them into Mexico. I think you feel better about that.
Yeah,
so
definitely.
It's one of those things. There's so many things. They are so bad. It's like amateur night. It's either amateur night or they want to destroy our country.
Right.
I'm gonna guess that it's the second. They absolutely want to destroy our country because they think that there is a reckoning to rebuild something from the ashes like a phoenix. They ain't ready for that. Carl said, Tim Russert, the former host of Meet the Press, was very good about re-asking a question after a politician gave him a non-answer. He was a master of it. Chuck Todd came in and ruined the show. What, you don't like Chuck Todd? Oh, what a hard-hitting journalist.
It's like amateur night. It's either amateur night or they want to destroy our country.
Right. Do you what do you think about what's going on in Venezuela? The whole situation out there.
Well, I know it very well. And Venezuela is right now being run by a dictator. We were enemies with Venezuela. Venezuela was going to collapse, and people
Is that's Maduro, right? Maduro is Venezuela.
could have gone back to Venezuela.
Chuck is a
Our
cook.
country now. They've released tremendous numbers of criminals into our country. If you look at Caracas, it was known for being a very dangerous city, and now it's very safe. In fact, the next interview we'll do it in Caracas, Venezuela, because it's
I'm
safer
down.
than many of our cities after they've released the criminals into all our cities.
Yeah,
And
Got
no, I'm
him.
kidding.
I know.
You know, the reason I have to say that because the fake news media knows that too, but they'll say, he suggested they go to Venezuela. You know, they are so bad, it's hard to believe. But
They really would. They really would. I can already see it. Trump says Venezuela better than U.S. I can see it already.
anyway, so Venezuela, their crime is down 72% because they've taken their criminal elements, which are large. It was a very dangerous place, especially Caracas and the different cities. And they've moved them into the United States of America. I know you're very happy. I know that your mother and father must be thrilled when they hear that.
Yeah.
Yeah, check out.
Who happen to be here, I believe.
They are. They're right over there. Hey, Mom.
Oh, look at that. Look at the timing on that. Look at the timing on that.
Dad.
Are you thrilled with what they're doing? I don't think so. I don't think they're thrilled. I don't think so. So their crime rate is down 72%.
Right.
Because they're drug dealers, they're criminals, they're murderers, they're rapists. Everything's being moved into the United States. And soon they will have moved all of their criminals into the U.S. They won't have crime. So that's why I say we'll go to Venezuela for our next interview. Okay.
You know, jokes always land better when you have to explain them.
It's a very serious problem. I mean, honestly, what they're doing to this country, they're destroying our country, Aiden. They're destroying stupid people. He's not a smart man. He wasn't smart 35 years ago. He wasn't smart 20 years ago. And now he's really not smart.
No.
And you saw that from the debate. I mean, he's really gone down the tubes. And she couldn't even pass her law exam. She couldn't pass her bar exam. And I'm not saying that because I know other people didn't pass their bar exam, but she thought she'd never be able to pass it. And this is who we have running our country. It's a shame. She's ultra left, ultra radical. I just see where 99 vicious terrorists, when she was, I guess, attorney general, because she was attorney general of California, she destroyed California. Her policies have destroyed California. Her policies, when she was the district attorney, have destroyed San Francisco.
Oh, don't you worry, Bernard. We are going to get all the good stuff. All the good
San
stuff.
Francisco was the best city in our country 20 years ago. And now it's, not even, frankly, it's not even livable. We have to bring our cities back. We're going to have to focus on bringing our cities back.
It's actually really sad. You know, I lived in California for a long time. Even Los Angeles, it's not safe. It's not safe. Everyone I know that lives in multi-million-dollar, homes that do what I do, content, they're getting robbed. They're getting robbed. The police don't really,
No.
they're not active out there as they are in some other states, and it's really sad. And I agree. I saw a video in San Francisco where people just walk into a Louis Vuitton and an Apple store and just loot, and leave like nothing ever happened.
And I'm going to keep bringing this up because this is the type of stuff that you are simply not going to hear in these, even, I don't even want to say mainstream, but even bigger alternative media. You're not going to get this type of laid back discussion that also hits on exactly everything that we want to hear from it. I mean, maybe not everything, but you know what I mean.
It's crazy.
They loot, and not only that, they have like $1,000 or $1,500, where she started, where she won't even prosecute if it's less than $1,500.
Wow.
So you see these people go in with like calculators, and they're
Yep.
adding the stuff that they're stealing because they won't be prosecuted. So that if
They don't even need it. The prices are online. You do your online shopping. You put everything in the cart. Make sure after taxes, $9.99, $1,500, whatever it is, and then you just go steal it all.
they get dabbed, they say, no, it's less than whatever it is, $1,000.
Right.
And she started the concept of that, and it's now spreading. Our country, we need strong leadership. We didn't have stuff like this. You know, when you look at what's happened to this country and you look at other countries, crime rates all over the world are down. You know why? Because they're all dumping their bad people, their prisoners, and all of the people that are bad. They're not only the people on the streets, the people that are in jails. You know what they save by doing that? But they're dumping their prisoners and their criminal elements. They're dumping them into the United States.
That seems a little hyperbolic. That seems a little bit hyperbolic. That there's so many criminals from their home country that are coming here that they don't have crime anymore. I mean, I don't know about that. I would need to see a fact check on that. But again, I want to highlight that this may be the first time that somebody in, Adin Ross's audience is seeing these issues being discussed at all. Again, I don't follow his content, so I don't really know, but I'm pretty sure that he's not like a news or politics guy. He gets into other stuff, but this is huge for a lot of people who would otherwise not have any interest. But because it's Adin Ross, people are there. Shout out to Guam Tech. Welcome to the party. It seems like it's going to be a fun episode. Aren't they all? Welcome to the party. Burr said Trump on Fresh and Fit After Hours with the girls would be amazing. Or the whatever podcast versus the college feminist. I definitely would want to see that. I don't think it would be good for his campaign necessarily, but I would pay to see it. Gumtech said, who is he already bodied so far? We got Kamala, we got Biden. I think that's it so far. Right? Yeah, that's it so far. But we got there's a whole list. That's why that's kind of, well, I don't want to spoil anything, but Burner knows what's good. But
they're dumping their prisoners and their criminal elements. They're dumping them into the United States of America. And our crime is going to go through the roof. It's going to go through the roof. And, if we win, and I hope we win, we should win, we seem to be winning. And, you can't even imagine that anybody would want these. This has nothing to do with me. Who would want these people? But can you imagine? They're just getting comfortable now, and they're criminals. So they're sort of laying low a little bit now because they're not comfortable. But soon they'll be comfortable. And they'll find that our police they're great.
Yeah.
But they're not allowed to do their job. They're not allowed.
That was a good way to put that. They're great, but they're not allowed to do their job because it's very easy to say the cops aren't doing their job, but blah, 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 blah. But on the right, you need to be very, if not back the blue, very close to it. So well phrased. You should have aimed for the head.
And they'll find that our police they're great.
Yeah.
But they're not allowed to do their job.
Okay.
They're not allowed to be strong, and they could do their job if they will. But if they do their job, they have their pension knocked out. They have their car taken away, their family taken away, their house taken away. Everything's taken away, and they lose their job.
And see, that's, again, a smart way to put it, because it's the cops that are, the cops' behavior or lack thereof is the issue. But by not putting it specifically on the police officers, then in terms of the rhetoric, then that he gets the benefit of calling out the crime without putting any blame on the police officers. Now, I definitely have no issues blaming police officers for not doing their job. But again, we are playing the game of politics. Guys, please don't make me beg. One like equals one never surrender.
It's a very rough thing being a policeman today, I'll tell you. But they could do the job. We're going to have to let them do their job. We have a crime-infested nation. We're a drug-addicted nation, and we're a crime-infested nation. Other than that, we're doing quite well.
Yeah.
Other than that. Burn Popcorn Account said, it's not lost on me that the host of a reality TV show got elected president. People forget what a long shot he was in 2016. I mean, yeah, I especially as somebody who was a never Trumper, the I mean, even up until election night, I remember sitting in my my apartment. I was living with a roommate. I had, well, I mean, it wasn't this phone, it was the last phone I had, but I had the New York Times prediction open, and they had like a bar, or not a bar, like a gauge rather, and it said 98% for Hillary Clinton. And I mean, at the time, I was like, all right, yeah, that's great. I remember. Again, we have to, I think maybe we'll do something with that around election day. But we have to go back and listen to my original podcast. It wasn't this. It was before I even had YouTube. I've told you guys a little bit about it, but it was me and that same roommate. We had an audio podcast, and early on, like it might not have even been 2016 yet. And we had a friend who was saying, Trump's going to win. Trump's going to win. Like, you remember when Ann Coulter was on Bill Maher early in the race, and he asked, like, who do you think is going to win? It's like, Donald J. Trump. And everybody's like, oh, my God, how silly. And then, of course, we all know what happened. And yeah, we were just so many of us, even if you do or don't like Trump, so many of us in 2016, we're just like, that's not real. That ain't going to happen. That ain't going to happen. Glomtag said Thanos wouldn't have looked for the Infinity Stones if Trump was in part at the time. Change in power at the time. I mean, make the argument. I don't know. He could have been like, I'll make you a deal. Okay, we'll give you this planet, and you just leave everybody alone. Possible. Very, very possible. Versus the dude was not supposed to win, and nobody thought he would. I didn't vote that year. I did. Loser. I don't think I'll ever let myself live that down. Casting a vote for Hillary Rodham Clinton.
And we're a crime-infested nation. Other than that, we're doing quite well.
This is going to be my redemption. It's really, I mean, it's not like something I think about all the time, but whenever it comes up, I really genuinely do feel bad about myself for falling for the BS. And so, you know, this November, when I finally get to cast a vote for Trump, because I didn't vote in 2020, hopefully that will right that wrong in my own mind.
Yeah. I want to move topics a little bit here. You know, I saw, I'm unfamiliar with exactly what it was called. You were speaking on stage with 3 other women, and you just got ambushed. They were late, and not a hi, hello, how are you? Just straight into it, just straight trying to rip you apart. And I think you handled it pretty well. But I wanted to ask you a question, like, why do you think like they just straight up do that for you, but then they're going to ask the other side, what's your favorite flavor of ice cream?
That's right.
Well, because, of course, they're playing politics.
Well, I did this as a favor. This was the black journalists. The room had maybe 2,000. They said 2,000. It looked more like 1,000 to me, but whatever it was packed.
Yeah.
And I did it because I thought it was a good thing to do. And they had a journalist, I didn't know who she was, but she was nasty. She was a terrible person. And I walk in, and instead of saying, hello, thank you very much for doing this, they also said, Kamala's going to do it. But then Kamala said, she wants to do it because she can't talk to people. She can't answer questions. She hasn't done one interview. You know, she's not doing any interviews.
Not one. So I think this is what they're talking about.
It's not true. You have told 4 congresswomen of color who were American citizens to go back to where they came from. You have used words like animal and rabbit to describe black district attorneys. You've attacked black journalists, calling them a loser, saying the questions that they ask are, quote, stupid and racist.
Are they?
You've had dinner with a white supremacist at your Mar-a-Lago resort. So my question, sir, now that you are asking black supporters to vote for you, why should black voters trust you after you have used language like that?
Well, first of all, I don't think I've ever been asked the question in such a horrible manner. First question. You don't even
listen to the crowd. Listen to the crowd.
Say, hello, how are you? Are you with ABC? Because I think they're a fake news network, a terrible network. And I think it's disgraceful that I came here in good spirit.
Nick Fuentes, what does he have to do with this?
I love the black population of this country. I've done so much for the black population of this country, including employment, including opportunity zones with Senator Tim Scott of South Carolina, which is one of the greatest programs ever for black workers and black entrepreneurs, done so much. And, and I say this, historically, black colleges and universities were out of money. They were stone cold broke. And I saved them, and I gave them long-term financing, and nobody else was doing it. I think it's a very rude introduction. I don't know exactly why you would do something like that. And let me go a step further.
Get him! Get him! I'm gonna say I usually don't mind Kyle Kalinske, but he had the most TDS take I've heard in a while over this clip. I was literally yelling at my phone listening to him. I mean, he is so hit or miss. He is so hit or miss. There is a lot of times where I'm like, you got it, Kyle. And then every other time I'm like, bro, what are you talking about? Oh, is that what that was? Oh my God. Oh my God. White supremacist. It's just, again, this semantic obfuscation. To frame a question like that, you have to be stupid to not understand that that's not fair. If you think this guy is that bad, you shouldn't need to stack the deck so heavily. Nick Leg's gonna beat myself up. Hey, I'm fixing it. I'm gonna fix it this November.
Oh, exactly why you would do something like that. And let me go a step further. I was invited here, and I was told my opponent, whether it was Biden or Kamala, I was told my opponent was going to be here. It turned out my opponent isn't here. You invited me under false pretense. And then you said, you can't do it with Zoom. Well, where's Zoom? She's going to do it with Zoom, and she's not coming. And then you were half an hour late, just so we understand. I have too much respect for you to be late. They couldn't.
Do I want to make that joke? If you know, you know. Yeah, the guy Kanye invited without telling anybody when he met Trump. Nick tagged along on a dinner with Kanye, and Trump didn't really know who he was. Yeah, I mean, first of all, I don't blame Nick for that. If I was, for whatever reason, thinking that going along with Kanye and Milo was a good idea, I would definitely show up to that dinner. I would make it, I would definitely have something to offer him as like an idea or something. But yeah, Nick Fuentes gonna Nick Fuentes.
And then you were half an hour late, just so we understand. I have too much respect for you to be late.
I
They
can't
couldn't
make
get
that
their
joke.
equipment working or something
Mr.
was
President,
wrong.
I would love
I think
you
it's
can
a
answer the
very
question on
nasty
your rhetoric
question.
and why you
I have
believe that
answered the
black voters
question.
can trust you with another
I
4
have been
years.
the best president for the black population since Abraham Lincoln. That's my answer.
Better than President
That's
Johnson,
my
who signed the
answer.
Voting Rights
And
Act.
for you to start off a question and answer period, especially when you're 35 minutes late because you couldn't get your equipment to work in such a hostile manner, I think it's a disgrace.
We don't have that anymore. We don't have the strength of people who can be called out by the establishment, and they put you in this box, and you say, "F you, no, you are wrong. You are the one who is wrong." And again, the bar is so low. Everybody who hates Trump, it is their fault that Trump is anything. Trump has been flirting with the idea of running for president since before I was born. But he didn't do it until what? Carl said, I love the chic, the chick who says, what in the audience? Trump just broke her brain. Some people are in those echo chambers. All right, where were we?
Much for doing this. They also said Kamala's going to do it, but then Kamala said she wants to do it because she can't talk to people. She can't answer questions. She hasn't done one interview. She's not doing any interviews.
Yeah.
Because if she did one interview where a hard question's asked, she's incapable of answering it. But I walk in and this woman starts talking about, she talked about, let's get rid of the elephant in the room. And she starts talking about racism and everything. I said, you didn't even say hello to me. And I'm doing them a favor by doing this. I'm doing this out of respect to the black community. And we're getting record numbers, as you know, in the black community. And she came across, she's with ABC Fake News, which is one of the worst. ABC is one of the worst.
Right.
And she is horrible. So she was very nasty. Harris Faulkner was there. She was excellent. The other person I didn't know, she was okay. I wouldn't say she was great, but she was okay.
Why is this going all in unity now?
Okay. But I did it, and it was quite a sensation. I see a lot of people think it was well handled. The woman was so rude.
So rude.
That, it's hard to believe. You can
So
walk
rude.
into a thing. And
How rude was she?
do them a favor, and I do this. Most people said, why are you doing it? I feel I have an obligation to do it. I want to look with it. You become the president for all of the people,
Right.
not for a certain segment.
Correct.
Not
You become the president for all of the people. Remember, when they the left is saying our democracy, our democracy, our democracy, you're not included in that. You are the enemy. Burning Popcorn account said, lately I've been watching the Young Turks and actually finding Jake and Anna somewhat reasonable. I would put that more on Anna for sure. I don't watch them that much, but from what I've seen, yeah, I mean, even them, it's getting to a point where the left-wing platform is so ridiculous that you have to pick either I'm sticking with this or I have to make sense, because you can't do both. You can't do both. But apparently Hassan Piker spurged out hard over Trump and Adin Ross. Ooh, does somebody have a clip to that? I would love to see a little bit of that. Because Jake and Anna are never reasonable, in my opinion. Well, again, when's the last time you listened to them? Because I haven't listened in a while. But ever since Anna got in trouble for saying that she doesn't like the birthing persons, ever since she doesn't like the birthing persons thing, she's been on a different trajectory. And Jake's definitely further behind her. But compared to what else is out there, the Young Turks used to be the worst of the worst, and they're still terribly, horribly, awfully no good, but they're getting better.
You become the president for all of the people, not for a certain segment.
Correct.
Not even for just my, they talk about my base, it's a very big base, but you become president for all of the people. So I feel you have an obligation to do that. Now, she's not doing anything. She's not doing any interviews because I don't believe she's capable. She starts, I don't know, she's strange. The whole thing is strange. Let's put it this way. Our country's in big trouble.
Yeah. I spoke to your son, Don Jr., when I met you in Doral.
Right.
I spoke to Don Jr. a little bit. He said, man, I feel for the young generation. You guys are, look at this. Like, look what's going on here. Like, it's like, you need this next 4 years. If not, I don't know how well the country's going to do after these 4 years.
Yep. And I personally agree. I've been saying that I think that this is an existential election. And this is when it was Biden. The democratically elected nominee. Now, with the coup that's happened, I don't think we will ever see a real election ever again if Trump doesn't win. I mean, we might not either way, but the only chance we have is Donald Trump. Excuse me. Carl said, Anna tried a fake pivot, but they're still on the same track. Any honesty is temporary to set us up for the next round of lies. I know how this works. I mean, if you want to believe that, you can believe that. I think it's silly to just say that anybody who has a different opinion is, an automaton who's doing this, that. You would need to present something else to me for me to believe that. But what I've seen is that there's a genuine frustration with the left-wing leadership, and they are not, like down the road Republicans. They are progressives, and they have, maybe different issues than we have with the Democratic establishment, but they've always been against the Democratic establishment. Let's not pretend that they weren't all for Bernie. They weren't all for the squad. And again, you may hate all of that, but that is a left-wing rejection of the Democratic establishment. Okay. Keep your dogma, bro.
It's like, you need this next 4 years. If not, I don't know how well the country's going to do after these 4 years.
I don't think it survives. I really don't.
Yeah.
Look, we're going to have 20 million people in by the time this election takes place. 20 million people. That's bigger than New York State. Many of those people are people that you should not have. And we're all for everything, all men are created equal, as the expression goes. Right?
Of course.
And now today they say all men and women are created equal. When they wrote that, it was a slightly different time.
Well, now, man, women, and otherwise. Gromdick says, I don't know, I want to believe Anna's getting fed up, but she's still a huge lefty. Yeah, of course. Nobody's saying she's getting red pilled and she's going to vote Trump and she's going to be MAGA. That's a very different conversation than, are you starting to see the ridiculousness within your own party's platform? They're two very different things. If you think that Anna is going to start, voting Republican, yes, I would say you're delusional. That doesn't mean that you can't be on the left and be a reasonable person. We do agree that you can be on the left and be a reasonable person, right? because otherwise we're falling back into our own dogma. There are reasonable people who disagree with you. There are reasonable people who may have the wrong idea, but think that Trump is the worst thing ever without being somebody who wants to destroy America. I would hope that I didn't need to say that. I would hope that you guys understand that there's a gradient. 2IT is the same as Kamala. No, wrong. They're incompetent and should never be trusted, or they were corrupt and should never be trusted. Okay, yeah. Anybody who's ever wrong about anything is always wrong about everything, right, Carl? Unlike you, who is automatically right about everything all the time.
Of course.
And now today they say all men and women are created equal. When they wrote that, it was a slightly different time. Today, it's that alone is a politically incorrect statement.
Yeah, it is.
So all men and women are created equal, everything. But the fact is, when you're dumping all of these criminals and all of these drug dealers, all of these people into our country, you're really hurting our country badly. And it has to be, we have to take very strong measures.
We definitely do. We definitely do.
So another thing to pay attention to here is the notion that the types of things that are being brought up. Because how old is Adin Ross? Oh, look, it's right here. So he's 23. He was born in 2000. He was born in 2000. He was 1 year old when 9/11 happened. And so the things that he cares about are going to be different than the things that we care about, because we're in a different generation. But yet he's still bringing up the same types of issues. So that means, what does that mean? That means that these issues are held by people of different demographics. And when he is good on those issues, that just tells us that you don't need to be a very narrowly specific type of person, the basket of deplorables, redneck type of person to want to like Trump. And that is very good. Gomtech said, Kingmaker centrism is the master race. There you go. There you go. Been sitting all day. Boner Popcorn Count said, I'm old enough to be his mother. Oh my God. Oh, these children. Yeah, I mean, time is a bitch. Time is a bitch. But again, it's a very important focus of this is what the youth cares about. He's not somebody who is, our age range and is just in with the kid. He is one of them. He is one of them. Can't do much better than that if you want the opinions of a Zoomer.
It has to be, we have to take very strong measures.
We definitely do. We definitely do. Moving to the next. Oh,
I didn't know. I didn't know they were allowed to applaud.
Yeah, they're allowed to applaud. You guys can
All right, comments.
It's live, baby. We can do whatever we want. We ain't got no rules.
Sense, right? It is about common sense. I mentioned that term because whether you're conservative, liberal, it's all about common sense.
It is.
What does it say right there? What does it say right here? Here to resurrect the second coming of common sense.
It's about common sense. I mentioned that term because whether you're conservative, liberal, it's all about common sense.
It is.
You want to have good education. You want to have borders. You want to have low interest rates, be able to buy a house. You want to, so many different things. But you got to have common sense. And we're run by people. And, just a little thing. When I started campaigning almost like 8 years ago, I talked about Merry Christmas. We should have Merry Christmas again. Let's bring back Merry Christmas. You weren't allowed to say Merry Christmas. I got it back.
It's a nice crowd.
Shout out to Vince Dow. Haven't heard of him, but we'll definitely check that out. Contact said Trump turned so quick when they clapped. I bet he thought he was going to get shot again. I think it's more like, oh, I'm getting attention. I'm getting claps. I love that. Or maybe he just forgot they were there. I would think he's, I don't know. I'm just trying to pick your shit apart. I apologize. I told you guys. Well, no, I didn't tell you. I tweeted right before this. This might get spicy because for whatever reason, I'm in a mood. I'm in a spicy mood. Indian spicy. Common sense is racist. Well, if you're on the right, if you're on the left, then that holds true. Nick says, I don't think most people are bad. A lot of people are not well informed or even badly informed. But I think most people don't have bad intentions, except for the politicians. Spot on. Spot on. I 100% agree. I think most people, as he just said, most people just want their life to be the way that they like before politics was a part of every single decision, everything, every single thing that you did. And while we may be past that point, at least for the time being, pop culture is not doing its thing, and so everybody is just has nothing else to care about but politics. But exactly, most people are not trying to destroy things. There absolutely are people who are. Let's not get that twisted. But most people, whether they're not well informed or even badly informed, as Nick says, they don't have bad intentions. And shout out to Holly. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the party. Agrees with Nick there. Yeah, I completely agree. Completely agree. Welcome, 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 Holly, to the party. The popcorn account said females are easily manipulated and subject to institutional brainwashing. True, but I mean, there's a whole lot of liberal men who think that the pay gap still exists. So fair, but people in general are easily manipulated. Carlos said, I lump the prostitute media in with the politicians. I have even more contempt for TYT because they pretend not to be. Fair enough. Fair enough. Shout out to Trey Williams. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the party. Said crazy how coherent he sounds in interviews versus his rallies, where he sounds like he's just rambling. I mean, he is just rambling, though. That's what a speech is. A speech. This is a conversation. Apples and oranges, in my personal opinion. But I'm glad you're enjoying it. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the party, sir.
It's a nice crowd, huh?
Even if you're Jewish, they like to say Merry Christmas. Every one of my Jewish friends say, we love Merry Christmas.
I'm Jewish. I love Merry
Good.
Christmas.
And Kamala doesn't.
She doesn't like it?
She doesn't want you to use Merry Christmas.
Of course. All right, let's end this poll here. Will Trump win the popular vote with 18 to 25-year-old voters? And 64% of you said yes. I agree. I think I apologize, I forget who said it, but somebody said the woman vote is mostly going to be gone. But the young vote is there. It is there. You can reference videos like Caitlin Bennett with Liberty Hangout, just kind of going around and just asking people, specifically Zoomers. It was right after the Sassy Nation, and they're all down with Trump. I think this notion, or how do I want to say this? The TDS, the existence of TDS, I feel like is a millennial and older thing. Not that there's no TDS with the Zoomers, but I think because they were so young in 2015, they just didn't have there wasn't that level of social pressure to think this way. And I'm just speculating. I could be completely wrong about this, but I think the Zoomers are way more willing to just try Trump again because of how bad things are, and for no other reason. Holly said, I love these lives. Well, thank you so much for being here. She said, it's nice to see so many like-minded people who can see through the nonsense. And again, I think people are so inundated by media, they don't know how to separate that from fact. Absolutely. And that's really, what the whole purpose of this is. I'm not, sitting here telling you, I know everything about politics and you should listen to me say this and I'm right about everything. And if you disagree, then you're wrong and you're bad. There's channels like that. This ain't one of them. We are all in this together. We are watching this together. We are exploring this together. And how often do you guys bring things up that I never even thought of? How often do I say something and you're like, hey, I don't think you're right about that. And I might not want to give it up, but we have the conversation. So thank you for the support, Holly. I very much appreciate you and everyone for being here.
I love Merry
Good.
Christmas.
And
too.
you know, Kamala doesn't.
She doesn't like
no,
it?
She doesn't want you to use Merry Christmas. She
Wow.
thinks it's insulting to use Merry Christmas. So we'll have to work on her.
I wanted to ask you a question. Speaking of, you said something about common sense. Someone who has no common sense, Joe Biden. Do you think he was pushed out, or do you think he made the decision to step down?
Oh, come on. He might think that he's still running.
No, he was not only pushed out, it was a coup. I'm telling you, they went in to see him. He did badly. The debate was a disaster.
It was horrible.
Okay. I don't know if I was brilliant or if he was horrible. Maybe it was a combination of both.
Yeah,
Okay?
yeah.
I know one thing. They were saying after I left, they said, you know, that was one of the greatest debate performances we've ever seen. And then 2 days later, they just said he was terrible. You know,
Right.
they never gave. They
Right.
took away.
It's almost like they just say whatever they're told to say. It's almost like they don't have any care for reality, and they just say the thing they're supposed to say. That's why everything is weird. Everything's weird. Just plain weird. It's weird. JD Vance is weird. Everything is just plain weird. If you hear a normal, like not somebody who works for the media, and their bottom line is it's just plain weird, you know exactly everything that they think. You know everything that they think. And it's all the dumb, stupid stuff. Guamtech said to Holly, the scary thing is that so many people just pawn off their thinking to media and go no further. I do see more and more people falling out of that mindset the last couple of years, though. Yep. That's Guamtech said that's why so many people think they are informed when all they do is repeat talking points. The age of media parrots is dying, and I couldn't be happier. I agree. I think the what we have to look out for, though, is the extinction burst. So this is something I learned about in my my dog training. Hey, shout out to Am. Welcome to the party. Never late. You are right on time. Well, I mean, you're not, but you know, it's whatever. You know what I mean. Welcome. But yes, this idea of an extinction burst. So the notion is if you are looking for a behavior to be extinguished or not happen anymore, then what you can expect is that right before it is extinguished, that there's going to be a burst of it. And so the example that I use in dog training is like, imagine that your dog has a little button that they can press, and it's a treat dispenser. They press the button, treat comes out. It's always full. It always works, and that's just the way it is. So for come on, give me mine. There we go. You got to get that in 4K. And so every day, the dog just maybe hits it once in the morning, hits it once at night. Maybe a double tap on a Tuesday or whatever. But it's his button. It does whatever. If you were to somehow turn off that button, and you don't have to be a dog owner to know this. This is just the example that I use. You would not expect the dog to, let's say the button is the camera here. You would not expect, you've turned off the button. Now the button no longer puts out any treats. But for its entire life, your dog knows this button will give me a treat. So you turn it off, he presses the button, and no treat comes out. What do you think is going to happen right after that? Is the dog going to be like, oh, guess this doesn't work. Moving on to something else. No. Press it again. Press it. Double check. Maybe press it real long. And then maybe look up the thing. So the idea being that the before the dog stops pressing the button, or in this case, the people just parroting talking points, before we see that disappear, we can expect that it's going to be a lot more before it gets better. Where we at here? Holly said, holy crap, I'm a dog trainer too. Hey, shout out to the dog trainers of America. That's awesome. I think you're the first fellow dog trainer here. Welcome. Awesome. So yeah, I mean I definitely agree with Guamtech that it's dying, and I could not be happier. But just be prepared for that extinction burst. And it's going to start with weird.
And then 2 days later, they just said he was terrible.
Right.
They never gave. They took away the great debate performance.
Yeah.
But anyway, but no, I mean, I did fine, and he is he shouldn't have. Look, he's done tremendous damage to our country. He was a terrible president. He was the worst president we've ever had. She's, by the way, considered the most unpopular vice president we've ever had. But she's worse than he is.
She really is. She really is. Like, Biden is bad because he doesn't know what's going on. Kamala's bad because she knows exactly what's going on. Shout out to Lil Toes. Welcome to the party. Good to see you. Good to see you. Yeah, I mean, a lot of people have been talking about the notion that, as a woman, she really saw that she could get ahead by the way that she got ahead. And that doesn't necessarily mean that she is as stupid as she presents herself to be. So I think the scary, what's the word? The thing I would most ardently caution against is thinking that Kamala Harris cannot be smarter than we think she is. Is it possible that she really is that dumb? Of course. Is it equally as possible that she's playing a role, and when she was younger, she realized, oh, this role works better than me being strong and competent, and now it's all been for this? That is possible. Shout out to Indyville. Welcome to the party. Said, come on, everybody loves Kamala. Stop being weird. Yeah, I guess I am a little weird. Welcome. So yeah, if you get that kind of comment, you know exactly everything that person thinks. Yeah, shout out to Adin Ross for doing the damn thing. They said, too bad a politician can't be trained as easily as a dog. They're not as smart. There you go. That's a comment of the night. I mean, but to my point, let's be careful. We really don't know how smart or stupid she is. We know how smart and we know how stupid her character is. But she could pull something up from her sleeves. Shout out to Jaden Hummel. Welcome to the party. Just checking out this stream with Adin Ross and our boy Trump. Welcome. Guantek said Kyle Kulinski literally said that JD Vance was the most unpopular vice president of all time. He was I'm assuming you're going to say unironically hyping Kamala at the same time. You can't make this shit up. And says, y'all know I'm not okay with having a woman president, but the fact that Kamala could be the first just reinforces why I hate feminism with a fiery, burning passion. Well, damn, tell us how you really feel. Carl said, I may not be the judge of personality that you are, doctor, but I do know when someone is lying to me. May not be the judge of personality that you are, doctor, but I do know when someone is lying to me. I don't know. It sounds familiar. I don't know if I could place it. If I could hear it without seeing it, I'm 99% sure, obviously, if I had seen the movie, then I would be able to place it. But I don't know the cadence. Don't tell me yet. Let me sit on this. I'm going to start this. Let me sit on it, and we'll come back to it. Holly said, nailed it. Kamala knew he was mentally off and only went along with it in hopes that they would pull Biden and put her in his place. Nothing, she says, even makes sense. Other mental faculties. And again, that could be that could be her character. I would say probably not, but let's just keep an eye on that. Contact said, this weird bullshit is unbelievably cringe. Like, for real? That's the best the media can come up with? If they really ran the well that dry, it's literally high school bullshit. Yup. That's where we're at. Jaden says, I'm not the judge, but they can lie too sometimes. But to me, I don't think they are. Who's they? Who's they? Sorry, I missed it. You're weird. The B movie. What the fuck are y'all? What is happening? Am I having a stroke? Are you having a stroke? What's happening?
Unpopular vice president we've ever had. But she's worse than he is. I actually think he's smarter than her. And I think he's a really not smart person. But I think he's smarter than she is. But she was convenient. She was there. They have better people. I mean, they have much better. In fact, all of the people that she's looking at are considered much better than her. These were people that were thinking about running. They would have run, except that they didn't want to go through this roadblock with her.
You know, the BIPOC female. The BIPOC female is that's something that you don't want to step on as a lefty.
And because you're the vice president, so they wanted to go pick them, and I think virtually every one of them is considered better, smarter. Would be a better president than her. But we can't allow her to be president. She's going to destroy our country.
Facts. Yeah, Am is spot on. This psychological manipulation is real. The complexity of using a weird shows the demographic that they're pandering to. Fucking retard. So maybe we might say that's a little bit of projection. Yeah, you have 3 different hair colors. You don't identify as a human being, but we're weird. Okay, all right. I'm just making sure we're on the same page. Jason said, this shit isn't right about Kamala. Everything he is saying, Trump, everything he's saying is true. I agree with that. Holly said, Trump is right about Biden and Harris. She would be the literal end of this country if she became president. That's a nightmare. Yeah, and it's not just because of how bad she is, but it's because the way that they went about it. Like after it, you cannot write the irony of spending. I mean, how long have they been really pushing this? Our democracy, threat to democracy. Donald Trump is a threat to our democracy, and then they literally overstep the democratic will of the people. Well, I mean, she's definitely not helping, but I think as president, she would definitely destroy this country for sure.
Would be a better president than her, but we can't allow her to be president. She's going to destroy our country.
She'll ruin it. I mean, already, it's just it's ridiculous what she's saying. And
by the way, the youth is so important because youth tends to be Democrat, and as they get older, they become Republican. That's what's happening. We can't wait 50 years. We can't. Make the move now.
I have tons of compassion. I just don't have a lot of understanding. I don't understand what it is that you want, what it is that you do, what it is you stand for. I have compassion that you're probably hurting. People who are living happy lives don't do that kind of stuff. So I absolutely have the compassion. I just don't have the understanding, and they're not willing to have the conversation. So how am I ever going to get there? Shout out to Jeff Pearson. Welcome to the party. Good to see you. Good to see you. Context. And the other part of this psychological manipulation is that they're underhandedly saying that normality, family values, and common sense economics is weird. You can't make this shit up. Yeah.
We can't. Make the move now. All of you young people, and he's got a lot of them. All I know is my kids say, Dad, you have no idea how big this interview is. I say, don't tell me that. But make the move now. Don't wait 50 years. Our country doesn't have 50 years.
And that's an interesting point as well, because I don't know that, let's say 30 years ago, would it have been a good thing for the country for us to be saying, young people, we really, really need you to be involved in politics? I don't necessarily know that that's ideal. Like maybe, hey, just slow your roll, listen to your parents, listen to your friends, listen to the news, but learn. See, I think this is going to happen because that, and that, and see if it comes true. See if you're right. See if you have that political compass in your head before you actually get involved. But now, because we're at a state where there is no I'm not into politics, there is no I'm not paying attention, it's shoved down everybody's throat that now, yeah, we need you to be well informed. We need you to be well informed. We don't have the time. We don't have any. Yep. I think we're all on the same page there. Trump is definitely better. King Nirvana said they are confused, don't you think? It's like they're NPCs that can't break free. But then again, I am free. I don't know. Help. It seems super simplistic, but Occam's razor tells us to go that way. It's just clear that there's a certain level of whether it's your intellect or whatever it is, there's a certain level of something that you either are over the line and we can agree or disagree, but you have reasons for your political positions, or you're below the line and you just listen to whoever says the thing that you like more and be like, oh, I like that thing. All the people that say that, they're the good people, and all those people are the bad people. It's sad. It's sad that we don't have that level of scrutiny, that level of understanding, that level of critical thinking for people to come up with their own opinions on this stuff. Jeff said Raskin is calling for civil war if Trump is elected. No, I kind of believe we're already there. So I don't even know what does that mean. What does that mean? I said, I think that is the biggest problem. Uninformed voters that haven't done their own research and free thinking. Yeah, there's an imbalance in us saying you have to pay attention to this stuff. This is so important, but not a strong emphasis on making sure that you do actually believe these things. You do actually think these things. You do actually hold these values. That seems to be an afterthought. Like, this is what we think. If you actually believe it, okay, cool, great. But if not, it doesn't matter. We just need to say these things. Because again, these people do not see politics as reality. They are insulated in the privilege that they talk about every white person has. It's the privilege of being able to cast terrible votes for bad policies and not have your life ruined. And so it's just a game to them. It's just a game. Jaden says, to me, I don't really trust Kamala. Should be the president of what I'm hearing crap about her. Like, be for real. Yeah. Unfortunately, it's as real gets. We all wish that it wasn't. But we did ask. She is the. Is that official? I've been watching stuff on TV. I haven't been keeping up with YouTube in the last few days. Do they make it official? Is she officially the nominee yet, or does it have to wait until the actual DNC? And facts, King. Facts. Herd mentality may be too strong. Carl said, by their fruits they shall be known. This is why I think religious people who are generally happy and functional are a better source of wisdom than all these bitter, dysfunctional philosophers. Agree to disagree? King said, it's hard for me to believe these people actually believe the wild things they do. Agreed. I said, I think the biggest problem is that people are lazy and complacent and don't care enough to hold a position that they aren't told to have. Leave the thinking to the higher ups. We should trust them on both sides. Yeah, I completely agree. And as I've been saying, as the coalition of the anti-woke, shall we say, as that is kind of fading from relevance, as wokeness is kind of just falling out of favor. Not that it's going away, but it's very clear that, like, overtly, just shoving wokeness is not what people like. We're seeing a lot of the different sides of people who are, let's say, on the right. And it's so much so that, like, I used to not care. I was always fighting against, like, I'm not a conservative. I'm a 2015 liberal, and I have mostly the same opinions. I moved a little bit right, but I'm a centrist. I'm this, that. And then after a while, it was just like, whatever. I'm a conservative. Yeah, sure. But now it's getting to the place I don't know if I really want to be associated with some motherfuckers. Oh no. Crying about the Olympics, fucking bitching about Indian people, bitching about they're not white, the obsession with Jews and Israel. Like, y'all not my people. We agree on a lot of stuff, but I'm not a conservative. I'm a politically homeless former liberal who is currently a right-leaning libertarian. That's the best I could do for you. That's the best I could do for you.
All I know is my kids say, Dad, you have no idea how big this interview is. I said, don't tell me that. But make the move now. Don't wait 50 years. Our country doesn't have 50 years.
You know, that's crazy to think about. I want to ask you a question. She did a rally recently. She had a rapper speak, and then she had a rapper twerk at a rally.
Yeah.
A rapper was twerking at a rally.
Yeah.
I want to know your thoughts on that. You know, it's crazy to me to think that there could be twerking at a rally.
Well, what Hillary did.
And remember, you know, how did this all start? Trump is so unpresidential. We need somebody with decorum. We need somebody who can represent America well. Fast forward. Megan Thee Stallion. Haram.
You know,
it's crazy to me to think that there could be twerking at a rally.
Well, what Hillary did is she would go out and get Bruce Springsteen. He'd get much smaller crowds than I got, to be honest. And he had a guitar, right? I don't have a guitar. but he would fill up a place, and then he'd finish, and they'd all leave, and she'd be speaking. So now Kamala's doing the same thing because nobody wants to go watch her. Nobody.
No.
I mean, she speaks for like a short. Nobody's going to want to watch her, and nobody does want to watch. Now, at least there's a little bit of curiosity, but there's no value really in going and watching her. So what she did is she's gotten a couple of rappers, and they fill up the place. But what she does is a little bit different. She has them go last. That's smart. I give. So in other words,
did she? I saw a video of people. Leaving Kamala. What the fuck is the word? Rally. After. How long is that? Yeah.
Just wrapped up. Now you guys saw all. Hey guys, this is Savannah reporting to you from inside of Kamala Harris's rally, which just wrapped up. Now you guys saw all of the footage, and there was actually a lot of energy for her in the building. Almost every single seat was filled, not every single one. But many people are questioning, well, were they here to see Kamala, or were they here because Quavo, Meg Thee Stallion were here, and it was essentially a giant concert? And I'm gonna be honest, guys, people started leaving about 15 minutes after she started speaking, which was kind of notable to me because, this is her first presidential rally in Georgia. And so I thought people would have wanted to listen to her. And then also, she really only spoke for about 30 minutes, I would say. So it was a very, very short speech. But people couldn't make it through it. I kept seeing streams of people continuing to leave. And I was like, well, maybe it's the one-off person. But then
Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, I don't know if that music is going to be claimed. But yeah, so I saw a video. And let's see if there's anything right here. Yeah, okay. This is what I was looking for. Just people leaving. Just after Megan Thee Stallion. People just dipping out. Some say, it was just a free concert for Megan Thee Stallion, and some say people were paid to be there. But yeah, no, she didn't learn shit. It would be smart if she did it after, and she's like, "I'm just gonna talk to you for 20 minutes, and then you get your free concert." But she didn't learn. Shout out to Zippy DSM Lee over on Rumble with the Rumble Rant. Thank you so very, very much, sir. And of course, every donation comes with a treat for my co-host Morty. Said it's been hot outside. Feed the dog. Indeed, I did. Thank you so very, very, very much, sir. It was actually rather cool here today, but we appreciate it anyway. Thank you, sir. And of course, that makes you the new sponsor of the stream. So let's grab some of these right quick. Sorry, where am I? Nick said, those aren't the conservatives I grew up with. So I understand your frustration. Just remember, they are the minority in the party, just like the super woke on the left. That remains to be seen. We'll in a couple months, let's come back to this and see if we still agree. Carl said conservatives are split on Israel. A third don't like Israel. A third hate Israel, and a third who are America first don't care at all. Or a third like Israel. A third hate Israel, and I'm in the third that don't give a fuck about it at all. Yeah, not. I mean, yeah. I just why? Why are we there? Why are we there? Email said, careful. See, if you act like a boomer, then I'll make fun of you for being a boomer. If you just act like a normal person, you ain't got to worry about it. Okay, boomer? I said, I do think the younger generation does have some smart cookies who haven't guzzled the Kool-Aid. I agree. And this is, a similar overlap to, what was going on with the Gen X video that I made. That I think there is a reckoning. I think as these kids start to get older and start to figure out what's going on, instead of just being young kids. I mean, how much did you know about politics when you were 20? And if you did, you're not like the rest of us. So I think within the next 10 years, it may go either way. But I have high hopes for Gen Z as of now. Nirvana said conservative media ladies are all so pretty. Well, it's proven that there is a strong correlation, not causation, but a strong correlation between attractiveness, especially in women, and more conservative views. Carl said, I must be out of touch. I have no idea who Megan Thee Stallion is, and I'm very happy about that. Yep, that's where you want to be. I mean, it's a person who twerks. That's all you need to know. Exactly. Hey, shout out to Buddha. Welcome to the party. Good to see you, brother. Good to see you. Welcome. Jaden said the world is going to get bad if she becomes president, but I doubt that. I mean, I agree, but it's like, you never know. And that's why it's very important that even though it is most likely impossible for Kamala to win in an actual fair election, you still have to make sure that not only as soon as you get your mail-in ballot, do you fill it out and send it in, but also, if you can, on election day, go to your polling place and make sure that they have your vote. That's what it's going to take. We need to verify and all of that stuff, because they're going to do everything that they can. Because the deep state needs to end the war machine to make money off taxpayers. That's why we're in the Middle East and and South America. Yeah, I mean, it's the war machine's gonna war machine, right? Different. And if I may say, like, Trump's not the greatest on that. Yes, it was amazing that there were no new wars, but he's still very much in favor of going there if we need to. Not that I'm not, but I think what I would consider need to and what he would consider need to might not be the same thing. Yes, please.
Gotten a couple of rappers and they fill up the place. But what she does is a little bit different. She has them go last. That's smart. I give. So in other words, they want her to finish her speech, get the hell off the stage, and then they can listen to the rap.
Performance starts.
No, it's pretty.
That's kind of smart.
Hillary didn't. No, I give her credit.
Yeah, give it to her a little bit.
Hillary never figured that out. She'd get some star, and the star would fill up the place, and then the star would leave. They would leave. Everybody would leave. And she's talking to an empty stadium.
And so that makes Kamala even dumber. That Hillary already did this, and it didn't work. And he's even giving her credit for, oh, well, Kamala's smart. She at least did it after. Nope. Yeah. Holly, you're in the Discord, right? Hit her up. Shoot your shot.
And then the star would leave. They would leave. Everybody would leave. And she's talking to an empty stadium. Anyway, this is a little better idea.
Yeah. I want to move on to the fun stuff now. I think,
let's go.
You've definitely talked on some ideas and policies, excuse me. But I want to know the fun stuff, because you are a fun guy. I've heard a lot from a lot of people how cool you are. Especially Dana. Shout out to Dana. I know you're watching.
Dana.
Yeah, he's
there's nobody like him. I always say everybody can be replaced except Dana, because this guy travels the world looking for fighters.
What about me?
Okay, get me fighters. He doesn't care where they from, countries nobody ever heard of, and that's where he finds the best fighters. Now he cannot be replaced. He's truly great at what he does.
He's the coolest. I know you're a UFC fan.
Oh, thank you, buddy. So here, what they're about to do here is he's going to bring up a bunch of, as the title says, he's going to bring up a bunch of like world leaders and politicians and people. And Adin wants him to do word association. So I want you guys to play along. I want you guys to play along. As soon as you see the picture and the name, give me the first word in the chat that you think of. And I know there's a little bit of a delay, but let's, Trump going to talk. So let's really try to play along with this. I think it can be really, really funny. But as soon as you see the picture, first word that comes to your mind, put it in the chat.
Fan, right?
I am.
Who are like your?
Oh wait, we gotta back that up.
Really
I know
great at what he does.
He's the coolest. I know you're a UFC fan, right?
I am.
Who are like your favorite fighters?
Well, I think Khabib. I mean, how good? Do you know who Khabib is?
Of course, I know Khabib.
Khabib was 29, I guess 29, 28 and 0, and then his father died and he stopped. But I think he never lost. I don't think he ever lost a round.
never lost a round.
Like,
Wow.
he fought many times.
Put one in the chat if you do not know who Khabib Nurmagomedov is.
He never lost like a round. And I thought he was a great. I got to meet him at a fight 2 fights ago because I walk in with Dana. Sometimes I do this walk in, and it's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's where I first met you.
Yeah, that's right. Come to that.
Yeah.
If I didn't get
Those walk-in. Let's look that up real quick. And King, I haven't been once they raised the prices this year. I just I did not keep up with UFC, and I'm just fallen off. But Adesanya was my absolute favorite person. So okay, let's do a couple of things here. Shout out to Cowboy for sure. So let's just see what we can get. A quick Khabib compilation. Let's just say he's just, I mean, he's just a dominant fighter. But a compilation of his striking, that's not what I want. But he's a really solid wrestler. Yeah, these are gonna be, that's not what I want. Come on, just give me a little something. Oh, this is when he fought Conor McGregor, and just a little something. I think I gotta meet this. But they're talking to each other. And he's just always in this position. Because Conor McGregor was talking shit all through the lead up, and they get here. He's like, "Oh, you want to talk? Let's talk now." And he's always in this dominant position where he's right on top of them, and they can't get out of the way. He choked. Every single fight looks like this for 5 straight rounds. Just over and over and over and over and over and over and over. And so the big story with him was that this fight was it this fight or the one after? He was 29-0, meaning 29 wins and 0 losses. And then, as Trump just said, not even lost a round. But then his father died, and his mom didn't want him to continue fighting, and so he retired at 29-0 instead of getting that 30-0. Would have been amazing. Yes, I do work all the goddamn time. Carl said, all the scariest fighters and jiu-jitsu practitioners were usually high school and college wrestlers. They grind. Yeah, you definitely see wrestlers being able to, at least for right now, have, because the sport is new, so it's it's evolving. But, the ability to dictate, are we going to be on the feet and be doing this? Or are we going to be on the ground where I'm comfortable? The ability to dictate that in the fight, just what we just saw. Even if you're not a UFC fan, then I'm sure you've heard of Conor McGregor, who, got the fastest knockout and all that stuff, rendered useless because he's, on the ground. What was I going to do? What did he just say?
Sometimes I do this walk in, and it's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's
the walk-ins. That's what I wanted to. Yeah, the Trump walks in UFC. When this man walks into a, this is the most recent one, 302. Yeah. So when this man walks into a UFC event,
Costa also with us tonight. 45.
we got to mute, but crowd goes crazy. UFC crowd goes crazy for Trump. All right. Diving back in here.
wow.
He fought many times. He never lost like a round. And I thought he was I got to meet him at a fight 2 fights ago, because I walk in with Dana. Sometimes I do this walk in, and it's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's where I first met you.
Yeah, that's right. Come to that.
Yeah.
If I didn't get any applause, you wouldn't want me on the show. You said forget it. No, we get big applause. We walk in together.
It's crazy. You shut it down.
No, I met people.
Yeah, right. Everybody in that building must be a Nazi for cheering for Donald Trump.
And he was very, he came to me and he said, "You're the man that can stop the war," because he's talking about the war with Ukraine, Russia.
Of course.
Because he knows they're his people. I mean, on both sides, right? There's so many people dying in that war, and the whole culture is being destroyed. The cities are coming down; they're just pouring bombs in. And it was amazing. We weren't talking about fighting; we were talking about a different kind of fighting.
Yeah, he's Russian. So Trump is saying that him and Khabib were talking about the Ukraine war.
It was amazing. We weren't talking about fighting; we were talking about a different kind of fighting, a much worse kind of fighting. And he was very concerned about that whole thing, that war. He said, "You can get it stopped, and I can get it stopped. I will have that stopped before I assume off. I will, if I win the election. First thing I'm going to do is get Putin and get Zelensky. I know them both very well, and
deal.
Get them to make a deal.
There you go.
It's crazy.
It is.
It's crazy.
It is, and it's like your rallies in the crowd, huh?
I know. I like this crowd. I like you, Pete.
He's just such a character. You don't get that. You don't get that in other places. And if that was the only thing that he had, like, oh, I like the guy, I would get a beer with him. If that was all he had, then fine. I would understand why people don't like him. But that's just the cherry on top. He does everything better than every other politician, and he's funny, and he's charismatic. And he at least makes it seem like he really cares. Because if it's an act, then let's remember that all through the assassination, he was acting for you. So even if it was an act, he still did that.
You know what they are, though? They're people that want to see the country do well.
That's it.
It's people that just they don't want to see crime.
Right.
They don't want to be mugged, because they're selfish in that respect. They prefer not being mugged, right? But they don't want other people to be mugged, beaten up, shot, and killed. In Chicago, on July 4th weekend, they had 117 people shot. Think of this. You live there.
Christ.
117 people were shot, 17 died. This is in one weekend, July 4th weekend.
Wow.
I mean, nobody wants that. If you're living in Chicago, you have a good chance of, something bad happening when you're going to go buy a loaf of bread, and something really bad could happen. So,
yeah, Zippy, I completely agree that he's about as real as you're going to get at that level, because so many people are afraid of jeopardizing their position without realizing that you only get to a certain position by embracing who you are. You don't have to be perfect. You just have to be authentic. And especially in the political class, they just don't get it. They just don't get it. Maybe 50, 70 years ago, you could do that. The fact that Kamala is still code switching, and we out in these streets in 2025. Like, bitch, we have the internet. They have not caught up. It's just insane. In film said Kamala said that she will stop the war because Ukraine is a country and Russia is a big country next to Ukraine. And Russia went into Ukraine, and that's bad. There you go. There you go.
When you're going to go buy a loaf of bread.
Yep.
And something.
And I mean, not to say that Trump's not a little bit out of touch because he's super rich, but he's out of touch in an understandable way. And he, as much as he's out of touch, he has kind of an understanding that, like, okay, I don't necessarily know this, but there's a lot of places where he just doesn't act like the stereotypical, like, hoity-toity, what you would expect. He likes his steaks well done. He likes the fast food, all that stuff. And that is authentic. King Nirvana said, I usually think everything is fake and political theater. It is. Even voting might be fake. Probably is. I don't know if Trump is faking me out or he is one hell of an actor. Well, here's I can put you at ease with this. Even if even if he is the greatest actor, his decision to take on this character and this role in and of itself shows more care for the country than any other politician out there. Even if he is pretending, what he is pretending to be is higher than who these other politicians really are. So I don't care. I don't care if you're pretending, because the results speak for themselves. It's very clear that you, even if you're completely full of shit, and Kamala really is that person, go ahead and be full of shit for another 4 years, please, because that's what we need. Shout out to Mondre. Welcome to the party. Good to see ya. We got that one. Zippy said Ukraine is a staging area for NATO to invade Russia. Oof. Spicy. I'm69 said she's out there doing her best to induce the cackle gas. Oh God! If I never heard that again, I would be totally fine. Carl said, "How's Kamala going to stop the war? By taking her knee pads to Russia and blowing Putin? I don't think he's interested, and I'm pretty sure Zelensky's gay as hell." Got him. Yeah, I don't know about all that.
Something bad happening when you're going to go buy a loaf of bread, and something really bad could happen. So we don't want to, and they don't want that. The people behind me, who I just met briefly, they're great, but they're like other people. People don't want crime. They don't want to go to wars. They want to be able to make money. They want to be able to have a good life. They want a great education, all the things that you want, just the basic things.
Well, excuse me, sir. Do you not understand that by saying that you want safety and you want money, that there are people who are oppressed that you're not thinking about? These people really think that way.
And we don't have that now.
It's really sad, honestly. And
I think of this, Israel, you're Jewish. Are you a fan of Israel?
Yeah.
It would have never happened. October 7th would have never happened if I was president. And everybody admits it. Iran was broke. They had no money. I wouldn't let anybody buy oil from Iran. As soon as Biden comes in, he didn't have a clue. He let everything happen. But Iran was totally broke. They had no money. And I wouldn't let them nobody. China, I said, you buy oil from Iran and you can't do business in the United States. They said, we'll pass. I mean, that's fine. But I did that with everybody. And we would have had a deal, 100% we would have had a deal, and there would have been no attack. There was no money left. Iran had no money. We would have made a deal. We would have made a fair deal for them. I would have loved to have made a fair deal. I'm not looking to, I just want them, they can't have a nuclear weapon. It's very simple. They can't have a nuclear weapon. You cannot let Iran have a nuclear weapon.
Fair. Totally fair.
So what happens is we worked very hard on that. And then he comes in and he allows everybody to go. China now is buying millions, billions and billions of dollars worth of oil. And Iran now is a very rich country. And October 7th would have never happened. And it wouldn't happen because they didn't have the money to pay Hamas and Hezbollah and all of these, they call them instruments of terror, a lot of different names. And
instruments of terror. What does that, is that supposed to be a person? Is that supposed to be a weapon? Semantic obfuscation.
And Hezbollah and all of these, they call them instruments of terror, a lot of different names. And so October 7th would have never happened. The recent attack on the park would have never happened. That was so graphic. And so, normally you don't see that. Normally the media cuts it up, but they didn't have time to cut it up because it was during the day, very public. And you'd see children with their legs cut off. Those initial scenes were so horrible, where a rocket landed in a little soccer field. Just terrible. All of that stuff would have never happened. And we'll get it stopped fast, by the way. We'll get it stopped fast.
I'm curious where, just in general, where you guys stand on Israel. So I want this to be super vague, and I don't want to get into a discussion. I'm just curious. So let's say, which best describes your position on Israel? pro-Israel, anti-Israel, don't care. Let's stick with that. Pro, anti, or don't care. How do you? Oh, did I not? Bro, my bad, Zippy. I forgot to update the banner. Everybody, I apologize to Zippy, our current sponsor of this stream. Thank you, sir. I'm doing that right now. But hit that poll.
All of that stuff would have never happened. And we'll get it stopped fast, by the way. We'll get it stopped fast. There's no games.
Amazing. Well, everyone that's watching, everyone behind, just know that your vote really does matter.
Yep.
And
even if it doesn't, it still does. Even if it doesn't get counted, it still matters.
you guys really have a big decision coming up in November. You guys got to really go out there and vote for the right person, which is him.
Wow, that's
There you go. There you go. So Wilto said pro-Israel. Marjorie says America first. All right. And the poll is sitting about 50-50 don't care and pro-Israel. It doesn't seem like anybody is anti-Israel. I don't know if that is meaningfully different than pro-Palestine or pro, but again, just kind of curious where you guys are at. But yeah, America first all the way. All right, I think they're getting into the fun stuff now.
come in.
Feel the alley-oop there.
You know, it's funny that you do it, but now I know why you're so popular, because I've been on for years with people that really do like me, and they're even fair to me and everything else, but they wouldn't do what you just, they wouldn't say, vote for him. You know, they do. They're short of that. They wouldn't do it. They do, and they vote for me. But
Well, we have to be journalists, and we can't give an endorsement, and even though it's abundantly clear what we think, we can't actually say that you should vote for him. Shout out again to Zippy DSM Lee out sponsoring himself. Zippy is carrying the show right now. And of course, another Rumble rant gets us another treat for Morty. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so very much, sir. Said you forget Zippy. Be wary. My word soup is wrathful, mainly to my liver. I apologize, sir. I bow down. I bow down. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Everybody put Zippy in the chat as the current sponsor of the stream.
vote for him. You know, they do. They're short of that. They wouldn't do it. They do, and they vote for me, but they wouldn't say it. I think it's great that you can say something like that. I think it's ethical,
Refreshing.
it's fair, it's smart. And if you felt that way about somebody else, that's okay too. But you know, you have journalists today, like that one that intercepted me literally. That was like a booby trap. I walk in and she starts saying, "We got to start a meeting." She didn't say, "Oh, thank you very much for being here."
No.
Just like the worst. And frankly, if I owned that network, I would fire her so fast. It was so inappropriate. And I actually, you know, once you sort of walk out, then you put the guard up, and you actually give less information than what you would have. They did it with sugar, right? But she doesn't know about sugar. That one. That was sort of terrible.
She doesn't know about sugar. That one. You catch more flies. Well, they usually say honey than vinegar, but you know, be sweet.
They did it with sugar, right? But she doesn't know about sugar.
He is great accomplishment.
It was sort of terrible. Became viral, #1 viral.
Yeah.
And it was the question that was viral.
Mm-hmm.
I think my answers were sort of good.
They were really good.
I think they considered to be, I can't brag, but they were considered to be very good. But the level of hatred and craziness, and you don't know, is that from the head of the network or is that from her? But ABC, I've said for a long time, ABC is one. You have George Slopadopoulos. I don't know if you've ever, but he's a nasty guy. You know, you sit down, and yet the Biden, he interviews Biden. I said, there's no way that Biden can handle this guy if the guy is like normal,
Right.
like he normally is.
Yeah.
He was so nice to Biden. He asked him and then when Biden couldn't answer, which he can't answer most of the questions because he has no clue where he is,
Yeah.
Slopadopoulos is giving him the answers. He's giving the question. And isn't it true that you really don't want to see war? Isn't that true? Yeah. No, the whole thing is crazy. Anyway.
I want to real quick talk about one thing. It was super important to me when I saw it. Censorship. You know,
Yeah.
I don't know if you saw what Elon had posted. Elon basically showed if you were to Google Donald Trump about a week ago, all you see is Kamala. That's all you see is Kamala.
Cool.
It's crazy. Google was really trying to push her.
So Google.
Yeah, did you guys see that? I don't know. I mean, I don't know. Let's see. What does it do if we say Trump? What comes up? Supreme Court, his money, Supreme Court about that. Picks a pointless fight with judge, like, and then what if we do Republicans for Harris? Republicans line up to endorse Harris. And this is, I assume, the fixed version, because it blew up on Twitter that you would search for Trump and you would get only pro, either anti-Trump stuff or pro Kamala. Like, come on.
It's crazy. Google was really trying to push her.
So Google is really crooked. It's horrible. When they had the word assassination up, because there was a big moment a few weeks ago where I got whacked. I got whacked. And
well, I mean, almost whacked. I mean, whacked does mean die, but
whether it's me or
just
anybody else, it was a terrible thing. Terrible thing for our country. It was terrible for everything. And when you put up the name, the word assassination, it went to Lincoln.
Kennedy,
it went to many other people,
Reagan.
many of whom I didn't even know there was an attempted assassination. The only one it didn't have was Trump. Think of it. And when you put up the word assassination, it also sent you to Kamala. And people were really angry at it. Look, something wrong with Google.
Yeah, they were.
I don't know if it's the people running it inside or the smaller people, so to speak.
It's probably both.
The people that are actually doing the nuts and bolts. I doubt it. It's got to come from the top. And it's so illegitimate. They have to do something about it. And I mean, the market speaks. Everybody should maybe just go off Google, not use it. There's so many other things. Watch this show instead.
Use Brave.
But there are so many things. No, Mark.
I mean, I use Google just because, Android, everything is Google. So it is what it is. But if you're not, Brave browser.
Zuckerberg called me and he apologized. They actually had it where, AI is dangerous. It's going to be with us, but it's very dangerous. They actually had the Secret Service agents were very brave because when I was being shot at, there were 8 shots. And as soon as they heard that first gun, I did think I did a good job because I heard and I went down. When you hear bullets, you tend to drop to the floor if you're intelligent.
Of course.
You're not.
Never misses an opportunity to be like, I think I did great. I think I did great by just going on the floor. I just love it. Hey, shout out to the God Daddy himself, Cody Brooks in the building. Welcome to the party. Our leader, Cody Brooks, the God Daddy. Welcome. It's clearly hard liberal activists in positions gained by DEI. Viva la Bravo. Indeed. Yeah, and what's wrong with Android? Oh, is that? Well, I don't fucking find a thing. I don't know. But welcome to the party, Cody. There, who? What? Oh, I mean, well, have you ever seen me and Nick in the same room? Physically? Welcome.
And I went down. When you hear bullets, you tend to drop to the floor if you're intelligent.
Of course.
If you're not intelligent. Like, I don't think Joe would have dropped to the floor. I think it's
Hey, Nick King, at least you spelled it right.
No, I think you would have just been like, what's going on?
Hey, what's happening?
What is that?
Where are those bullets?
Is that a bird?
Oh, there they are. They are. No, I don't think he would have dropped to the floor.
Right.
But anyway, it's when you hear this and when you see what's going on, and he called up, and there's a very iconic picture that was taken. But there's a number of them actually. But there's one in particular that was very iconic, and it's been on the covers with the fists up. And the secret agents, service agents, and I know they're going through a little bit of a questioning period. Let me tell you, these people were brave because those bullets were coming at me, and I heard them. They were whizzing over my head. I had the one here, and I went down, and they were whizzing over, and I had 7 people, maybe a lot of very big people on top of me within seconds.
Right.
Well, except for the ladies, though, right?
And a lot of people that I know would not have done that. Aiden, I'm telling you, when bullets are coming right over you, and you got people willing to. I asked a couple of them. They expected to die. They actually expected to die, and I understood that.
Yeah.
The other thing that happened that was amazing is within 5 seconds, the sniper, the Secret Service sniper, from a much further distance, one bullet, and didn't know about it. Now it was a communication problem, a big one, and had it taken place, 10 seconds earlier, would have been good. But there was a communications problem. But he supposedly, I don't think he knew. I mean, I've gone through it too. I don't think the sniper knew anything about it. He may have heard there could be a problem, but he didn't know anything about it. Think of it. A thing like that happens. He went by the gun and the fire of the gun. And I guess when the bullets come out, you see fire. And he was able to see that from probably more than 300 yards away. So that's 3 football fields. That's a lot.
Yeah, I mean, we can make jokes as well as legitimate criticisms of who was there, but we cannot say that the men and women didn't jump into action and do what they were supposed to do. Like, even if you aren't the best at being a Secret Service agent, even if you're the best at holstering your gun, you still did jump up when shots were fired. So that is a lot. Shout out to MA is dead. Welcome to the party. He said Adin Ross scored an interview with Trump. Does Trump people not look into these jackass streamers' backgrounds? You got it wrong. The thing is exposure. There's, as I was saying in the beginning, that there's got to be hundreds of thousands of people who do not pay attention to politics, do not care about politics, who are young and watch Adin Ross for any litany of reasons, and are now being exposed to a long-form conversation with the man they've been told is the worst thing ever. He's going to bring the end of the world, destroy democracy. So I think this was extremely, extremely smart on the Trump team, especially the way that it played out. Welcome to the party. Cody said, I like how Trump casually discussed what to do when getting shot at. I don't like the man, but he is iconic. A lot of big people on top of me in seconds, except the Melissa McCarthy lady to hide behind. Yeah, we give him credit when we can.
Able to see that from probably more than 300 yards away. So that's 3 football fields. That's a lot. And one bullet took him out. And if he didn't shoot him, you would have had probably a lot of people dead.
Right.
Probably a lot of people would have been dead. He had a lot of bullets up there. He had a powerful gun, and he had a lot of bullets up there. And the reason he stopped was he got hit 5 seconds. That's a pretty amazing job when you think, it's sort of a surreal experience. Right?
Yeah.
And you could say that for them too. And they go years and they don't have to do that. They don't have to shoot people. And then all of a sudden they're confronted and they see somebody firing. And a lot of people wouldn't react like that. They wouldn't, they'd say, let's call in and find out what's going on.
Right.
Yeah. Cody says, 23-year-old at my machine shop came to me after the Adin Ross podcast. He's not political, but he was talking politics with me. There you go. And that's all we need. There's so much of this from the other side that we have to play the game or we're going to lose. You have to expose people to the options and understand that the snippets of the mainstream media, what they show is not necessarily in tune with reality. Zibby said, destroy democracy? The Democrats love democracy as much as the aristocrats of the Confederate South. Facts. Same people, same party, right? Amaze Deadson, converting degenerate red pill fuck by audience to MAGA? Yeah, would you rather them vote for Kamala? A vote is a vote is a vote is a vote. I'm not saying I want to hang out with them. I'm not saying I want to be friends with them. I just don't want them to vote for the person that I don't want to be the president. This is politics. It's not about liking the people that vote for you. It's about the number of votes you get.
His reaction time, I think, was amazing. So there was a big communication problem, and they'll get that straightened out. But the Secret Service people were very brave. And that sniper.
Communication problem.
was very talented to hit a target like that
Yeah.
from so far away.
Right. Mr. President, I do want to say, first of all, you took a bullet for everyone in this room, everyone watching, everyone. The reaction that
I will. When I was driving when I was listening to this. And just like on that day, just reminiscing, just thinking about it, I was welling up just listening to this.
everyone in this room, everyone watching, everyone. The reaction that you gave, no other president is going to do that. They're going to either remain, where they are. You are a brave man. You stood up and went like this, and that was a pretty badass picture, by the way.
Well, I will say though that the audience was very brave. Also, the fans, the people, and it's much more than MAGA. Although I think MAGA is almost everybody, because it's what we talk about.
Yeah,
common sense. Yeah, and Kamala's paying people to come to the DNC, regular influencers, $1,500 for a 90-second anti-Trump video. A gay Trump supporter exposed this today. It's everywhere. It's everywhere. And those of us know are not surprised. We know this. Like Laura Loomer just came out with, let's see if we can find that. Laura Loomer Kamala. Come on, search engines, do your thing. Where is it? Come on. Come on. Social media. I'm trying to look for a video that. Oh, here we go. Here we go.
Harris's presidential campaign. Fake supporters. Kamala Harris presidential campaign exposed for paying Instagram and TikTok users cash to post positive things about her. So over the weekend, I discovered that Kamala Harris was actually using a site called Launch Viral. And
Launch Viral.
They were sending out this recruitment link. And the recruitment link was utilizing a software called High Level. Okay. And High Level was the software that was used to create this recruitment page in which you can put in your name if you want to apply to be a paid social media influencer. And you have to list all of these different requirements. We're going to show you because I took a screen recording of the actual page because I knew they'd probably delete it. And you have to insert all these different categories. But let's just go ahead and play the video now, and then we'll go back and forth and show you, slide by slide how illegal this is, what the Kamala Harris for president campaign is engaging in. So here's a screen record. Pay close attention because this is just a screen record of the recruitment ad and the page that was sent out to paid social media influencers. Go ahead and play the clip.
So let's see what they start.
So as you can see, it says Kamala Harris launch viral.
And it said $150.
Paid post opportunity. Harris for president. We're asking you experience, create post, right? Then it has you insert all your information.
Yeah, so it's we're offering $150 cash paid bonus incentive as a small token of appreciation for those selected. Hurry, spots are limited.
Go back on the video towards the beginning. Pause it. Right there. Pause it. All right. What we're offering. $150 cash paid bonus incentive as a small token of appreciation for those selected. We're asking you to, 1, experience. Encourage your fans to share, like, and follow Kamala. Scroll down. Create. Post one of the memes only using our pre-approved assets. So pre-approved assets is obviously messaging coming from the campaign. This is not like an organic thing where you just get to post whatever you want, right? Then what does it say? Okay, feel free to add your own spin or commentary on your TikTok. IG too would be awesome. Instagram. Post your content on TikTok, Instagram, or both. Mention @Kamala Harris, hashtag Kamala Harris, Harris 2024.
Amazed Dad, thank you for hanging out. You have a good one.
So this is astroturfing, and you'll notice in the very beginning it says $150 cash. It's a violation of FEC rules and regulations to pay for anything when you're running for office in cash. You are not allowed to use cash. You are not allowed to do this. It doesn't matter. I ran for office twice, and it's a big no-no. You are not allowed to use cash to pay for anything. And if you do have to use your own personal cash, you have to note it on the FEC, and it has to be done as a form of a reimbursement. But it's highly frowned upon, and they really don't like when you do that. And so
yeah, so that is why you're seeing so much organic grassroots support for this this woman. Guys, we did just cross over the 2-hour mark. We have a bunch here to go. If you'd like to keep the party raging, you know how to do it.
Although I think MAGA is almost everybody, because it's what we talk about.
Yeah.
But all of the
Let's grab these real quick. Cody said it's not illegal because they have no rules for the internet. It's a weapon and they won't fix it as long as they can use it. Yep. Something said, I honestly feel like she represents all the worst parts of MAGA. Granted, she's not well, crazy, but I feel like Trump is her dogma. Fair. No
those
argument.
people with tens of thousands of people as far as the eye could see, and then the people in the back. And those are the people you see because the cameras are focused on that. You know, we have the bleacher in the back with, I don't know, 100 to 150 people or something. But those people never moved. And if you go to crowd, we had like a crowd control type person said, whenever a bullet is fired, they know a bullet and they know a sound. And we had a lot of bullets fired. So when you think of it, plus the Secret Service, whenever a bullet's fired, everybody empties out immediately. They immediately leave and they empty out the whole stadium, and they call it a stampede, like in cattle.
Yeah.
And people, a lot of people get killed with stampedes. You know, they get literally
Stumped
walked
over,
over. They get many people die in soccer stadiums. You know, but when a bullet goes off, everyone leaves.
That was always I still don't know how to think about that. The fact that so many people we would expect to just run didn't. And I don't know why. I'm not sure. Like, how do you explain that? Is it just that Trump is such a strong leader? I mean, I want to believe that, but I don't think that that's necessarily the most reasonable assumption. But why do you think that people it was the entire crowd? Nobody, at least in the crowd and on the bleachers, nobody ran. You said rural people are built different. Maybe. But it just, I don't know. It's very weird in a good way.
Again, many people die in soccer stadiums, you know, but when a bullet goes off, everyone leaves almost every time.
Yeah.
Nobody left. And you had the man behind me. He's looking like this. He's looking. There was no fear. It was amazing. They knew that I was in trouble. They saw that. They saw the blood because the blood, I guess you get hit in the ear. I can tell you, a lot of blood when you get hit in the ear. That's one thing we learned.
As we saw in that picture. Let's shout out the God Daddy himself, Cody Brooks. Said, I bought the dip yesterday and woke up to find out it was a mudslide, not a dip. Did you survive the today's stock market? I own 36 million sheep. Damn. That is a lot. Let's let's get Morty his due. Go and get it. That's right. Every single donation comes with a treat for Morty. So I'm not I'm more of a Bitcoin guy. I don't like how the stock market is just so it's the same people that control it that are like the hedge against whatever you think is going to happen. Putting your money in the stock market feels like that's a rigged game, where not that a Bitcoin isn't, but it feels a little bit safer to me. And then, in 2020, I used my COVID money to just invest, and I've just been holding on to it. So I'm not like a day trader in the sense that I follow it like that. But I'm not happy with where we're at. Just hoping it's temporary. But either way, thank you so very, very much. And of course, that makes you the new sponsor of the stream. Because I bought a grand in Bitcoin at 50. Yeah, I did the same thing. I thought we were on the way up because this was 2020 and it was at, like the 50-ish range coming up from 20. And so it was at 59K for me. Of course, it topped out at like 70. And people are like, you got to get in now. You might never get these prices again. That was 40 years ago. And now, what is it? What is Bitcoin at right now? Jesus! It's at 55. That's lower. And, I'm a little scared to get, I have a little bit of Doge. I have some Ethereum. I have some stuff. But I don't like too much getting into the meme coins. I just feel like it's a little bit safer to go with the, I feel like the Bitcoin is more like the S&P for crypto. But hey, if you making money, gang. And of course, that makes you the new sponsor of the stream. I'm 169. Thank you so much for being here. You have a fantastic night. All right. Thank you again to the God Daddy himself. Let's dive back in here.
That I was in trouble. They saw that. They saw the blood, because the blood, I guess you get hit in the ear. I can tell you, a lot of blood when you get hit in the ear. That's one thing we learned. We learned all these things, unfortunately. But they saw there was a big problem. Normally, when they hear that, they're all, they disperse. Nobody left. I mean, you take a look at that. Now, that was a microcosm of what was out in front of me, because the speech was being made to thousands of people.
Right.
And nobody there was leaving either. It was really amazing. They knew there was a problem. And when I got up, they were confused because Secret Service was lifting me. I guess I was getting up, and I'm looking for my shoes. I didn't want to go on they had stretchers and stuff. I didn't want to go on stretchers. I didn't want to do that. But it was amazing. And they were confused because you could be up, but you're not looking too good. And I felt it was important to let people know that I was okay and our country was okay, in a true sense that our country was okay. And so I did that. And the audience was just, they were, I mean, USA, wild. It was a hell of a horrible experience, but I learned a lot about the love in this country. Think of it. A bullet goes off, everyone leaves. And here's bullets going off. They just,
Again.
So again, I say, if he is just acting, okay. Good with that. I am good with that. Cody said, Trump is good for crypto. He has all the right voices in his ear and says he'll pardon Ross Ulbricht too. Hell yes. Hell yeah. And I think, again, that's just another grain of sand in the heap that this is an existential election. We have to be there, despite the fact that we know there's going to be BS with the ballots and the counting and then this and then that. We know. But we have to put out everything that we can to counteract that. Because we couldn't just throw our hands up, oh, well, again, they're going to cheat. And then you could do that. Or you could be a fucking man and do what you can do. No one person can fix the world. All you can ever do is do what you can do. And this is the same. Shout out again to our boy, the God Daddy. Dilly.
True hero.
They were heroes. The way they didn't move, you have to watch that group because that was the same as the group in front, the big group. And it wasn't like, geez, normally they say, let's get out of here.
Yeah,
how do we do
that's
this?
true.
They weren't. They saw I was in trouble.
Yeah.
And
Carl, are you still here?
They didn't want to move.
No.
And many of them were standing up and they were looking, one man in particular with a floppy hat and wearing like a black T-shirt. And he's out there just looking. It's a fascinating thing to see. And when you hear crowd control people say, we can't even imagine that happened, that shows their love for me, maybe, but for the country.
The country, absolutely. So this is something I've been thinking about a lot. Okay, so just let you know, I'm still thinking about. I'm still trying to place this. I'm still trying to place it. I didn't forget about you. But Cody says, convince all your friends and coworkers to vote. Don't even tell them who. This is the way. So when you say this, do you mean that if you tell people to vote and that has some effect on them paying attention, then you don't want to push them towards Trump because organically anybody with common sense is going to go towards Trump? Or are you saying even if people vote for Kamala, I still want people to vote for Kamala? Because I don't want that. Like if you plan, I'm going to speak to you directly. If you plan on voting for Kamala Harris, stay home. You don't need to vote. You can just not. Just don't. And I right and left, there's always this notion, oh, you have to vote. Why do you want people who are going to hurt your chances of living the life that you want to live? Why do you want them to vote that way? Because it's not as if we're talking about people who are well informed and have the position and are being oppressed in some way. It's people who have the right to vote because they're here, but they don't know any better, and they're going to possibly vote for the end of the nation. So, do we really want Kamala people to vote? I would be happy if they just didn't vote. And it goes the other way as well. You know, people on the right will, or excuse me, people on the left will say, you know, rock the vote, you got to vote, everybody's got to vote. But it's like, wait, you literally think Trump is Hitler? Did you really want me to vote? Holly said, if everyone just did their part, do something, help someone, speak out, and truly fight for change, then we'll be where we should be again as a country and a society. Agree with that. Okay. So it might be a little off. Okay, fair enough. Okay. Just give me some time. IEBT. I don't know what that is. I have no idea what that is. Cody said there's the free will doctrine. You want voting numbers, and they'll vote right if they tolerate you. Everyone knows the left is retarded right now. I have 19 employees, and all will vote for Trump. And again, good. Cody says you must respect free will. It's easy to convince people or manipulate people. These are superpowers you shouldn't use on the confused. Why not? Why not? If I know that somebody is not well informed or is misinformed, why would I encourage them to act out that behavior that is inspired by incorrect information? I personally don't believe free will exists. But why would I want those people to vote just for the sake of voting? Because again, we're already talking, like, if you're telling somebody to vote, that means they're not going to vote unless you tell them. So you have one more person to cancel out your vote. Why do you want the people who are voting against you ill-informed? If we're talking about people who genuinely feel that the other person is right, then, you know, I get that we want to have the will of the people reflected in our government. That I understand. But taking it a step further, not everybody understands how to vote in such a way that even represents what it is that they want, as we can clearly see. Next, I keep telling people, even if it's only for selfish reasons, Trump has every reason to want to see America succeed.
Bingo.
Exactly. I said, I'd rather the ill-informed and intentionally or unintelligently ignorant not vote at all. Yeah, I agree. I Bitcoin BC. I'm using it's BC, and I'm emphasizing. I don't know what you're saying, bro. I would assume so. Yeah. What does that have to do with voting? I believe in the absolute middle. Simple as that. Educate as you will, help people think, but don't tell them what to think or how to think. I agree. I'm not saying you should tell people how to think or what to think, but you are saying that you should convince them to vote. So that is convincing people what to think. They think, I don't think voting is that important, but you're saying convince them to change their mind and see the value in voting, even if they don't understand the issues, even if they're going to vote against your interests. So the question is, why do you want people who otherwise would stay home and not damage your chances at having the society that you want? Why is voting in and of itself a benefit to the individual? I understand that we want everybody to have the right to vote as a concept, but on the practical level, why do you want people who are going to vote against you to vote? So, okay, I think, you know, my original question when I was talking about when you said convince everybody to vote and don't tell them who, it sounds like you're more along the lines of don't be somebody who says you have to do this, but more just invite them to be engaged in the process. Is that fair to say? Because that, I mean, I'm totally down with that. But like you say, I would want them to understand, and I don't necessarily have the ability to educate people who are not interested or willing to be educated. Those people can still vote. All right, I've been back in.
Thing to see, and when you hear crowd control people say we can't even imagine that happened, that shows they love me maybe, but for the country, and it was pretty amazing.
It's great.
Thank you.
So I got you a gift. Well, a couple gifts.
Oh, good. That's good.
I'll show you another gift. I'll show you, the second gift a little bit later. But I did get you a gift, and I got you this gift because, look, you are. I feel like you constantly get beat on, but you're so strong, and you just, like I said, you live for the people. And
I'm gonna speed this part up a little bit.
You're a hero. I want to present to you this gift right here. I hope you like watches, Rolex.
Oh, that's a beautiful watch.
Yeah.
Should I open it?
You should open it and then show the camera.
That's a great watch, actually. Good company. They're good company.
You like Rolex?
They like Jack Nicklaus and Gary Player. And
Rolex.
The golf guys and all the other guys. I do. This is beautiful. Wow. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Don't they have nice packaging?
They do. Really, really nice.
And of
Oh,
course,
that's so nice. Oh, should I show that to the audience?
Yeah, they can see it.
I didn't know that. Now I know it's worth it. Well, my boys said, "Oh, that's such a big show." I don't know what you're doing, but you really are respected. Amazing. I mean,
I appreciate it.
you know, I go into other shows. Nobody does a big deal.
I do want to say
Thank you
also,
very much.
shout out to Nelk boys. I know you love Nelk.
Oh, they're great.
You're the greatest.
Well, that was through Dana. You know, Dana's very much into this world. Dana's a young guy, sort of. You know?
Yeah.
He's a young guy, sort
Yeah.
of. But Dana is into this world like he could be an 18-year-old or a 20-year-old.
Yeah.
He knows more about you and the Nelk brothers and the Nelk boys. And he asked me to do their show. And I will tell you, I got a tremendous response. You know, you do some of these big shows, you do like 60 minutes and nobody cares. You do Nelk or you, and I can already see so many people going, bingo!
Oh, wow.
I said, I've had a lot of calls. So
yep.
it's like a new wave.
Yeah.
It's a new thing.
Yeah.
Who would think it? And sometimes television is not the big deal. I sort of feel that television will always be television.
Yeah.
But numbers aren't like they
All right.
No, I would say, live streaming and YouTube is kind of like the new age television for, younger people. So I did have some clips I wanted to react to.
Okay.
This is the fun stuff I wanted to get into.
All right, the fun stuff we getting into. So, like I said, when we first started, I would love for you guys to play along. So it's just word association. He's gonna put up a picture of somebody and just whatever the first word that comes to mind, first word, first name, first whatever comes to mind, throw it in the chat. Let's run it back here. Cody said, because voting was never believed to be powerful until Trump we voted in, but everything is manipulative. I don't think it's okay to convince simple-minded people to vote for anyone. I just want them to get to pay attention. So then that's paying attention and voting are two different things. I think it's definitely good to have people to show people why they should be interested in politics. It's undeniable that no matter who you are, politics affects your life. I don't think a lot of people necessarily know that and necessarily put that together. And so I completely agree with the paying attention part. I gotta put a stop at the you should vote. Convincing people to vote. I think that's not a good idea. Holly said, I sometimes feel like people should have to show proof they have researched both sides and fully and independently before they're allowed to vote. Yeah, who was Vivek talking about the civics test? Nothing crazy. Do you know how many branches of government there are? Have you heard of this very big news story? Do you understand what the left is saying and the right is saying? Then you can vote. Right there. That's it. Just a little sum to make sure that people who are voting, whether they vote the way that I want them to or not, are actually engaging in the system the way it was meant to be engaged in. Nick said, I was raised with the attitude, if you don't vote, you don't have a right to bitch about the outcome. But I was also raised to make sure I was informed on why I was voting the way I was. As somebody who's only voted once, I don't necessarily there's a disconnect between, well, if you don't vote, then you don't have a right to bitch about it. Yeah, the fuck I do. Yeah, the fuck I do. Now, does it lower the validity to what I'm saying if I didn't participate in the process? Sure. But I don't know. That's just always rubbed me the wrong way. And it feels like a way to, again, people who don't pay attention, who don't know anything, and they go and they pressed a button, and now they have more of a say on how the world works than I do, because I conscientiously decided that for this election, I don't think that casting a vote is the ideal option. I don't know. But you and Holly seem to agree. Fair enough. Cody said, I accidentally convinced everyone I talked to vote right wing. There you go. It doesn't feel right. I just voiced my opinion. I know it's a win, but it doesn't feel right. That is what they want you to think. That is what they want you to think. They want you to have guilt for being honest. They want you to have guilt for saying the things that they've determined to be wrong and evil and mean and this and that. And that is exactly what they want. And that is why it's not necessarily the best thing for everybody to be casting a vote, because some people are playing this game and some of us are playing the game of trying to improve our country. So, all right. Word association.
So I did have some clips I wanted to react to.
Okay.
So this is the fun stuff I wanted to get into. Let's get into the reactions right here. This is so cool. I'm actually reacting with you. All right.
You know, I put you on Truth.
Really?
Yeah.
Thank you, man.
I was gonna try to use this as the thumbnail, but it didn't quite.
Truth
work
is
out
my
that way.
voice, you know.
Yeah.
And it's doing great.
Yeah.
Everybody should go on Truth.
Yeah.
But I will say that I put you on that we're doing the show together, and the response was very cool.
I love
Very
it.
cool.
I love it.
Very cool.
Okay. So shout out to Nelk, but they kind of gave me this idea. I have 2 segments I want to do with you.
Okay.
The first one is use one word that comes to mind to describe that person. Okay.
Okay.
It's a fun game.
Fun.
Let's start. All right. Who is the first picture? And
All right, so we're gonna get really. Let's put these down here. We got the Nelk Boys. First up is the Nelk Boys. What is the first word that comes to mind when you see Nelk Boys?
we got the Nelk Boys. One word.
Great.
I love that. Okay,
Really
great.
good.
Great. Okay, he said great. Going back to voting, Holly said, I think that if you can't vote for age or whatever, you do have the right to speak out. But I was raised by a generation who believed that you had to vote no matter what. And again, how has that worked out? How has that worked out? Nobody has anything for the Nelk Boys. Nothing. All right, moving on.
So you're friends with them?
Yeah.
Are they competitors of yours? Though?
Not even, honestly. You know, every time that
That's an interesting question, and I love how that is a very legacy business type of. Are they competitors? In the sense that because you are a fan of this creator doesn't mean that it takes away from you being a fan of that creator, unless it's specifically like, okay, my show airs at the same time as Timcast. We choose to, if you like Timcast better, then you know that it's always gonna be on the same time. But like that doesn't mean that you can't watch the replays for me. And I mean, if you're smart, then you'd watch this live and be engaging in the chat, and then just watch Timcast whenever, because it doesn't matter. So no idea seems to be the word. Oh, all right. Milk Boys. All right, we got that's something. That's something. That's all we're saying is first word that comes to mind. So I think Wamtech wins this one. Before I move on, Nick says it was more of a family thing. It's not to see you don't have the right to be unhappy with the situation, but you did nothing to change either. But if you're not informed, I prefer you don't vote. Agreed. Yes, this is the Full Send podcast with the Nelk Boys. All right.
yeah.
Are they competitors of yours? Though?
Not even, honestly. You know, every time that I speak to Kyle or Steve.
Yeah,
It's just only
they're
love.
all great.
They're really, really
No,
good.
they're
Jim.
just great.
Yeah.
But in a way, you would be competitors, but you don't.
They're more bigger on the YouTube side of things. I'm more
Right.
live, so it's a lot.
I
It's
see.
a different
I see. So
world,
it's different.
but it's kind of like parallel.
Look at them. I mean, they're just great people. That was Dana White. He said, you got to do them. I said, who are they? I didn't know. And after I did them, it was like an explosion.
And that's such a great like slice. If you just take that little clip of Trump talking about the Nelk boys, and then asking about, oh, are they a competitor? And then Adin very well explaining that, well, not quite, even though we kind of do the same thing, we're in different lanes, and so it doesn't necessarily work that way. And just like, yeah, bro. Gontek says Nelk Boys sounds like a hunting channel for to me for some reason. All right, fair enough. Carl said, I don't think most leftists and Trump haters are uninformed or misinformed. I think most of them know how wrong their movement is, and they have decided to burn down the country anyways. Nope. Go outside, bro. Go outside. There's no.
What? He said, you got to do them. I said, who are they?
You're giving people too much credit. Like there's not, people don't care enough to be that insidious, that like, oh, I want to burn down the country, but I'm going to pretend I don't know anything about anything. No, people just don't know anything about anything, bro.
I didn't know. And after I did them, it was like an explosion.
All right, let's see what we got next here. We got me.
Adin Ross. All right. My word for Adin Ross I just think kick. That's where I go. I just go to kick. Context said, I think Trump doesn't know who they are either. He did have a conversation, which didn't we cover that? Yeah, we covered that. Maybe he was fishing for info when he asked if they were competitors. No, he did the show. He had a conversation with them, as he just said. Dana was like, hey, you should do this podcast, and he did a podcast with them.
Well, I can just tell you that one word would be outstanding. My son's told
outstanding. Imagine you show a picture of yourself to Donald Trump, and he's like, outstanding. I'm like, in my pants. I don't know
about you, and
even if this is all you know of him, first word that comes to mind.
They told me about
not about being right, it's about being funny.
My Baron,
yeah,
he said, Dad, he's really big. I said, yeah, but what about else? He said, he's also a friend of mine, right?
Yeah,
but big stuff, Aiden. So I just have to say, outstanding to do what you've done at a young age, and I know how old you are. You're young. You're seriously young. My suit is older than you are.
How old your suit?
I understand. Nobody, anything. Nobody's playing along. All right, this is you guys are fucking gay.
Thank you, Mr. President. All right, let's see who we got next. We got
any film. You've just been watching him for the last 2.5 hours. What do you mean you don't know who this guy is? You've just been watching him talk to the president of the United States. You fucking boomer. This is why I make fun of you for being a boomer. You just have been watching him. What do you mean? Hey, shout out to AWell2 over on Instagram. Welcome. Said Kamala is so crooked and bad. Biden is senile. She is so horrible. Rather have him than her in charge with the dementia. That is how complete disaster she would be. God help us. I mean, except for the God part. I completely agree. Welcome. And she's gone. I try. These Instagram people, they have no goddamn attention span. Anyway, so then give me the word. We're playing a game. Did you not understand the game? There we go. Okay, there you go. This is how the game works. I was a little bit desperate to give someone a Rolex and then ask them, because it wasn't a joke or it wasn't lighthearted and it wasn't supposed to be fun or anything, but you know. So, all right, we're on Trump, and any film says genuine. Cody said, I'm 39, but I don't diversify my podcast as much as my news feed. Fair. See, there you go. That's how you play the game. Carl said desperate. Why desperate? I mean, I would say the complete opposite, as he's sitting pretty with Donald Trump next to him on a live stream. But fair enough.
Thank you, Mr. President. Let's see who we got next. We got you.
Anybody know what he's gonna say?
Patriot.
Ooh, okay, Joe Rogan. Who do we got? To be fair, I was just gonna put weird for every picture. That would have been funny. That would have been good. You should have done that and not said this or that. Quamtech said America and money for Trump. There you go. And Carl said mad lad. For Joe Rogan, Carl says shill. For who? Shill for who? I would love to know. Quamtech said fucking badass. He goes back to genuine. All right.
Joe Rogan.
Interesting. He really is. He's an amazing guy. He's a very interesting guy.
So we got next.
Shout out. I said, I'm not religious. Honestly, I believe in science and nature, but I respect Trump for standing up for the things he believes in. Hell yeah. All right. Next picture.
Mr. White.
He's a fighter. I'll tell you, that guy, he fights.
Moving too fast. Hold on. Okay. So, Chokes and Jokes, a good one for Rogan. I like that a lot. And we got Dana White, the UFC president. They said, dude looked like he was thinking, fuck, I'm too high to be talking to the president. I mean, he might be. Okay, Driven. Yeah, that's a good one. Power slap. How can you forget about white power slap? Dana White. All right, last one's on Dana White before we move on to the man, Elon Musk.
Mr. White.
Oh, well, he's a fighter. I'll tell you, that
guy.
He fights. You wouldn't want to have him against you. A little bit true with all of these people that you're showing. There's a good one.
Shady entrepreneur, but successful nonetheless. There's always a little bit of that, right? You gotta, it's business. There's a reason they say it's business. Where am I? Awell too said, why is the media not interviewing her? The actual questions we have, not identity politics. They're doing that on purpose. They are replaying exactly the same playbook they did with Biden in 2020. Just keep him away and just let everybody think that Trump is the worst thing ever and will win. It worked when you put that in tandem with screwing up the way that we do voting in the first place. But that is why, again, now we know that playbook. They just do the same thing over and over and over and over again. So that's why as soon as you get that mail-in ballot, fill that out and send that in. And then make sure you have November 7th off of work so that you can go in to the polling station and make sure, hey, you got my fucking vote, right? Like, oh, no, we lost it. I don't know what happened. Well, I'm here now. Vote for Trump. All right, so first words for Elon Musk. Carl said brain chip. Okay, like that. Gomchek said Iron Man, if a little quirky. Oh, we got another one with Tony Stark IRL. There you go. All right. Let's see what Trump's got to say.
Have him again. A little bit true with all of these people that you're showing. There's a good one. Elon, a genius. Truly a genius. I see the rockets come down with the engines, and they're coming down, and the engines are landing without any. They have no wings, no nothing. That was a couple of years ago.
Right.
This is such a Trump sentence.
What is that? And I said, what was that all about? He says, well, we want to be able to save the engines, not that they go into the ocean.
Smart motherfucker.
And all. But he really is. He's a genius. He's also a very good person, Elon.
There you go. And Cody says, my shop will have paid hours during elections. They can take off whatever they need to get it done. That I am in favor of. Dilly to that. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Girl said Elon Musk won't tell you about the remote control function of the brain chips. I kind of believe that. Let's
see what we got next here. We got Kanye.
Yay! If y'all don't make me laugh with yay. Come on. What we doing? Hey, well, too, so we all need picture IDs to go to any sporting event. Why not to vote? Early voting is completely insane. Again, because they want to do the bullshit that they did. Exactly like everything in 2020, once they put this plan in motion, absolutely went according to plan. They did so much that there wasn't some big scandal in one part of the nation. There was little things here and there and there and there and there and there. Every state is doing things differently. They're using the fact that ballot harvesting is going to be easier in the city, where if you go to an apartment building, ballot harvesting being that they mail out the votes and you can collect them from people so that they don't have to go in. You go to an apartment building, you can get thousands of people in 4 hours. Whereas in the rural areas, even if you are hitting that payment, it takes time to get from this house to that house to that house to that house. And they use all of these things that, well, if we use an ID, then that's going to slow us down because a lot of these illegal immigrants aren't going to want to vote our way. You'd think it was some dastardly plan. And I mean, it is, but it's just simple. They cheat so they can win. Why does anybody cheat, right? So Zippy said, Tesla is one of the best consumer electronic scams ever. I'm going to start this. And this is going to come up in shortly. Yeezy Rider. I'm like said, if Elon ain't Tony Stark, then he's Lex Luthor. I ain't mad at that. Indie Film said Kanye West, a mystery wrapped up by a puzzle, dipped into an enigma. Love it. Ali said 100% of every move they've made since 2016 has been absolutely abhorrent and should never be tolerated. They underestimate that most of us are onto them. Fool me once type of thing. Yep. But let's see them try to fuck around. They gonna find out. Let's see them trying to fuck around this time. Because they caught us. They caught it. They win. Hey, we got to take that out. We were not ready. But we are now. Going back to Kanye. Glomdeck said, overhyped and weak music.
What?
I'm not even a rap fan like that. But Kanye's got some bars. I'm sorry. Cody said, got to get them 85ers to vote. Yep. Everybody. All right. Let's see what Trump's got to say.
Let's see what we got next here. We got Kanye.
So he's very complicated. Let's say
complicated.
Because he's a really nice guy, but he can get himself into trouble and he can get some other people. But he's got a good heart. He does. But he's complicated. Kanye.
Alexandra Ocasio-Cortez. I know what mine is. Big booty Latina. Hey. That's where I'm at. I will never be able to get that out of my mind. Alex Stein. What's her name? Wait. No. Wait.
Dedicated to all the big booty Latinas. AOC, I'm talking.
Is this copyrighted? He said Hawk Tua. I think that'd be a little bit more Kamala, but either way.
Big booty Latinas, boy Bonita, filling out arenas. AOC acting like she's never seen us. Don't you know she makes the best margaritas? Big booty Latina, you are so sweet. I love to eat your taco meat and look at pictures of your boyfriend's feet.
There's no way.
Put that Cuban on your taco, spread it around like bullets in Chicago. AOC, you're so sexy. Every insurrectionist deserves a felony. Your body could melt the ice caps, and your brain will cause them unnatural collapse. Your fiance had nothing to say when.
This is a full ass 2 minutes and 45 minutes. I did not know this existed. I am saving this in a separate tab, and we are checking this out in the after party. If you are not a member of the channel, join right now. Nobody else got something other than Hawk Tua? I mean, god damn, that's a good one. But nobody got anything else?
Does, but he's complicated. Kanye. Fake.
Bartender.
But in all fairness,
Fake.
but she knows it. She's got a thing going. It's a good thing. She's a good thing for her. But there's a certain something she's got. She's got a spark. That's pretty amazing, actually. She's got a good spark. So I'll change it. I'll say spark. She does have. She gets on. You know, when she was running against a gentleman from Queens, and I asked his people. I said, "Are you careful?" This guy was going to be Speaker of the House. It was going to be him, not Nancy Pelosi. And Joe, he is a good politician, a real pro, been around for a long time, many years in Congress. And I watched her on television one time. I saw a clip of her speaking, ranting, raving, going crazy. And I said, who's she running against? She's running against Joe. I said, oh, does he know what's going on? Oh, he's got no problem, sir. He's got no problem. I said, is he doing any debates? No, he doesn't have to bother with the debates. He's been there for years. I said, tell him I said that he should be careful, because I saw her. And I said, she's Evita. I called her Evita. Maybe that's the best. Evita Peron, right? I said, she's Evita. She's
What am I missing? Evita? What does that mean? Oh, we got the hungry dance. We got the hungry dance. Keep that party rating with a treat for Morty. The Democrat. I don't know. I think if I was gonna, let's keep in mind. If I was gonna say the Democrat, that sounds more like a Nancy Pelosi type thing. Because we were talking about this before. She was the whole thing with the squad. Their whole thing was, what was it? Force the vote with healthcare and everything. And so I don't know if she's the Democrat, unless we're talking about popularity as opposed to like policy. Then I'm with you. Shout out to Raymond. Welcome to the party. So I can't believe Trump is saying something nice about a Democrat. Yeah, it's almost like he's not Hitler. It's almost like he has an understanding of the game that he's playing. Crazy. Welcome, Raymond, to the party. Madonna made a movie about her. Okay, I guess that might be before my time. Boomer! Just kidding. Don't cry. Stop crying, indie film. Fucking baby. I'm just kidding. I love you.
I called her Evita. Maybe that's the best. Evita Peron, right? I said, she's Evita.
Oh my God. Comment of the night. Dilly. What, you staying over there? Or you coming over here? Okay. You do what you want to do. Just better watch out for Jay. What's Jay gonna do? What you mean? They're so as far as I remember, they loved her until she kind of lost her progressive edge, and she was like, okay, I gotta play the game.
I called her Evita. Maybe that's the best. Evita Peron, right? I said, she's Evita. She's in the streets screaming, shouting, going crazy, hugging people, everybody's being hugged. I said, he better be careful. And she took him out. So, I give her credit, but she's got a lot of sizzle. Well, there's a
okay. Xi Jinping. No, not the hiccups, please, not the hiccups. Oh my God, I get such violent hiccups, please. Nope, come on, we're not doing this right now. Okay, we're good. Okay, Jank likes horses. That's fucking funny. I have Xi Jinping. I got my word. I got my word. I know exactly what it is. I know exactly what it is. What you guys got for me? What you guys got for me?
Powerful man. He's a powerful man. I know him very well. I know him probably better than anybody in this country knows him. And
very interesting. Very interesting. Talking about saying nice about a Democrat, saying something nice about a fucking a tyrant. Context of the biggest threat to civilization. That's exactly what I was thinking. That's exactly what I was thinking. Winnie the Pooh. But again, this shows the what am I trying to say? The notion that MAGA is just a cult and is just following the same, like 2 in a row. He just said something positive about people who are who he would want people to see him see as an enemy. Trump would want people to see that when Trump looks at AOC, he thinks something negative. People want for when Trump sees Xi Jinping to say something negative. The fact that he doesn't is exactly why people love him. Not because he likes people but because he's real. It seems so simple and fundamental. And I guess it is. And it really shows how fake. Who was talking about it all being theater? How much that's actually the truth. It set up a history. Yeah, I know what you meant. Yes, I'm sure. Thank you.
he's a powerful man. I know him very well. I know him probably better than anybody in this country knows him, and got to know him extremely well. We had a great relationship until COVID. COVID was a step too far, but we did very well with China. And President Xi, we did very, very well with China. We took in hundreds of billions of dollars. No president took in 10 cents. I took in, and I exposed China. Look, I want China to do great. Okay, but they can't take advantage of us like they were doing for years and years. We'd lose $500 billion a year in trade, all of it. But then COVID came in, and it really, I changed, but I will have a very good relationship with him. There's no going to war with him. He doesn't want to go to war. We're not going to go to war. And we had a very good relationship, actually. He was right in this room. He came to this country, and he stayed here for a number of days, as you remember. And we had incredible meetings, a very famous meeting in the dining room, actually. But he loves his country, and he's very strong and very powerful and very interesting. But he really does love his country, I can tell you that.
That I mean, again, the willingness to say that, knowing how easily lefties would be like, "Oh my God, he did this," is just that means a lot to me. Shout out again to our boy Zippy DSM said have a dog treat for the hiccup. Well, I thankfully avoided that, but I appreciate it nonetheless. Thank you so very, very much. I really gotta fucking set up my account with like all your money is just sitting there. I just need to get it. But thank you so much. Very, very much appreciate it. They said, you nailed it, bro. That's what I thought when it comes to Trump. Yeah, man, he's just real. He's just ready to do and say what needs to be said.
Let's see who we got next on this list.
Gavin Newsom. Update this banner. Well, oh wait, no, sorry. Sorry. First word. Okay, I got my word. I don't want to tell you guys until you guys give me your words, but I got my word.
Let's see who we got next on this list.
Yeah, Gavin Newscum. You spelled it. No, you spelled his last name.
He literally ruined California. Beautiful state. California is beautiful. He ruined it.
And when you watch him, he's always saying, "Oh, we're doing so great."
Right,
We're not doing great. I mean, I have holdings in California.
So any film says slimy. I think that's a good one.
And I own a golf course right on the ocean, right on the Pacific Ocean in Palos Verdes. So beautiful. It's a club. It's big, many acres, hundreds of acres, and it's fantastic. But California is so precious. One of the most beautiful places in the world in terms of weather, in terms of everything. And they're just destroying it with crime. The crime is out of control. It's a very dangerous place. And
Facts. So Raymond says Trump lost the election because he kept running his mouth when he already had the election in the bag. Interesting. What can you running his mouth on what? What do you talk to me more about that? Like with tell me more. Tell me more. But yeah, I was going with slimy, the slimy mother.
they're just destroying it with crime. The crime is out of control. It's a very dangerous place, and he, I think it's a shame because
that's interesting. I fear that, man, and makes sense.
I like him. I got along with him great. I helped him a lot with his fires. I kept saying, why don't you do something about the forest fires?
Yeah.
There's no reason to have that. There's no management. They have no management control over the forests. I said, you have to do things. But I got along with him great, but he has not done the job.
No.
He has not done the job.
Nope.
Said.
Loser.
Got a few more. Let's see what we got next.
I got mine ready to go. I'm going to make my drink. Give you guys a minute. See if you can get something better than mine. I don't know if you will. Because mine's going to be good. Let's see. What do you got? What do we got here? Cody said, Trump jokes are fun, but the media twists them. His own ambiguity now is profit. What? Trump jokes are fun, but the media twist them. His own. Well, I think I think this is something that I didn't necessarily understand in the beginning, but he purposely says stuff that is easily misconstrued so that the media will misconstrue it and give the worst interpretation, like the both people on or good people on both sides thing. He knows that they will do that. And so he puts out, he puts these things out. And then when they pick up on it, then we get to see, look at the fake news media. He did not say that. So I think that's a very conscious part of his conscious part of what he does. So anyone said cook. Guantex said groomed for the position. Oh, all right. And Zippy said El Presidento. I just thought blackface. I mean, y'all remember, let's see. Justin Trudeau blackface. Watch, I bet it's not gonna come up. Oof. This is what I think of. Could have said, that's why I keep calling Hannibal Lecter a great guy. I must have missed that. Raymond said, Dems are complacent, and he motivated them to vote by not understanding how political incorrectness affects the enemy. Okay, fair. I could definitely, I could say that, and especially now that we see that there is a lot less of that kind of stuff, and the stuff that we do see, I think, is a little bit more well workshopped to have the intended effect. And I think, in 2016, this idea of fake news was very new, and it's like, oh, okay, you're just coping. Whereas 2024, people are like, oh, okay, that news is fake as shit.
It's not done the job. Said.
All right.
Got a few more. Let's see what we got next.
Yeah. He's turned very liberal, actually. They say he's the son of Fidel Castro, and could be. I mean, anything's possible in this world, You're going to learn as you get older. You've seen a lot already for your age. Per age, I would say. Per year spent, you've seen as much as anybody. But Justin Trudeau is, I get along with him very well, actually. But he seems to be going very progressive, and the people of Canada are not liking it. I mean, if they had a good conservative person, which maybe they do, maybe they don't. I don't know. But somebody that's a strong conservative would win in Canada. Canada is very unhappy about the way they've been treated as people. But I got along with them well.
Oh, so here for this one, let's do something different. I want you to try to see if you can guess what Trump is going to say about the person. So what is Trump going to say about Kim Jong-un? I'm thinking because I don't remember. I would assume, again, based on what we've seen so far, it seems like he is going to talk again about strength or something. Glomtech says DMZ. I like that one. And he feels there's a great video of him trying to shake hands with world leaders and them turning their backs on him, on Trudeau. Can we what? Turning. How do you fucking spell Trudeau? G-A-U. He's fucking French. If anybody's got a link, let me know. Well, preferences, no, turn it back. All right, yeah, somebody's got something. Let me know. Let me know. He said Kim Small.
Now, this man I really got along with well. We had Little Rocket Man. We had the red button.
Rocket Man!
I have a red button on my desk. And I said, no, I have a red button too. And mine's bigger than yours and mine worked. And it was a really bad month and a half. You know, he was very, very tough on President Obama, very tough on everybody. You know,
thanks, Obama.
Nation, and it really is. I mean, I said to him, do you know Elton John? No. I said, did you ever hear the song Rocket Man? And I actually played him the song Rocket Man. He said, no, I've never heard it. I said, you're Rocket Man. He said, no, you call me Little Rocket Man, not Rocket Man. But I tell you what, so we had a very nasty 2 months. People were actually worried about it because it could have been dangerous. But President Obama told me that this was the single biggest threat to the United States, was Kim Jong-un of North Korea. And one day I got a call from people that wanted to see me about him, and he wanted to meet. He did not want to meet with Obama, did not want to meet with anybody. Got tremendous nuclear capability. He does. We've checked that closely, and he does. I got to know him very well, and I got along with him great. He's very smart. He's very strong. He's the absolute leader. You know, a lot of people say, oh, maybe he's not the leader. He's the absolute. When he's around, his people are standing up at attention. I've never seen. We were at a luncheon. They had 20 people on his side and 20 people on mine, you know, looking at each other.
Right.
In Singapore, we had a meeting in Singapore. It was the biggest press conference I've ever had. There were thousands of paparazzi. I've never seen anything like it. I think people said they've never seen anything like it. I was walking in, he was walking in. We met in the middle, remember? And
yeah, of
the place just went crazy. But we got along very well. He's very, very smart. And, you know, he's a real power. He's a real power. I think he's upset that I'm not there. Nothing would have happened with him. We would have gotten along with him fine. I was trying to get him to do, you know, his country is, you talk about location. I'm a real estate guy. He's right between, think of this, Russia, China, one side, and South Korea on the other. I said, you have a great piece of real estate. You could make so much. You could have gorgeous things. I said to him, think about gorgeous condos going up on your shore. He's got a lot of ocean. He's got ocean frontage on both sides. Right? But I got along with him great, and we would have had no problem with him. Now he's getting very angry with us, and he's getting very angry with, I understand he doesn't like her. He doesn't know her, but he forms opinions, and he doesn't like her. And he thought that Biden was a stupid man, a very stupid man. He would say that, but I say the same.
He was right. He was right. And shout out to the cop from Reno, 911. Oh, my God. Dilly. All right, Trump ignored at, let's do this. What'd you say? Trudeau. Ah, God damn it.
Everything we discuss is then leaked to the paper. That's not appropriate. And that's not all the way the conversation was conducted.
Fuck you. You are a gay man.
If there is
否则这个结果就不好说了。
if there is sincerity on your part,
free and open and frank dialogue, and that is what we will continue to have. We will continue to look to work constructively together, but there will be things we will disagree on, and we will have.
也可以坚持。
创造条件，创造条件。
Let's create the conditions first.
好。
Oof. I love that they hang on with the shot for so long. Let's see, is there anything else here with
No, Justin Trudeau has been ignored in some spectacular ways in the past. So he's usually prepared to react to this in a calm, kind of calculated way. But at the G20 yesterday, he was ignored in such an incredible fashion that even he couldn't keep it together. So watch him walking in right now. So the seating chart was set up in alphabetical order. So China was right next to Canada. But President Xi of China has been notorious aloof towards Trudeau. So when Justin sits down, he pays him no attention. He doesn't even look up. So Trudeau is probably expecting this. So what does he do? First, he kind of orients himself to the guy sitting to the left of him and makes eye contact. You know what it feels like when someone's staring at you or looking at you? You can just kind of feel that energy. Well, Trudeau was hoping that when he did this, it was actually the new president of Brazil. His name is Jair Bolsonaro. He was hoping that he would turn and greet him and say hi. So he wasn't kind of sitting there awkwardly, but it doesn't work. So what does Trudeau do? Actually physically touches his arm, which gets his attention. But the problem is Jair was more interested in shaking the hand to whoever was at his left. I couldn't figure out who was sitting to his left. But this is all about social status. Okay, look at this. Trudeau can't even act like that was normal. Take a look at his face. It's hard to recover from that. So the social status component is whoever is looking for your attention, and look right there, look how obvious it is that he sees him right there. But whoever's looking for your attention that has higher status is going to get the attention from the other person. So if two people are coming at once, typically the person with higher status is going to get more attention. Or if they're of equal status, the person that tried to get the attention first. So Trudeau got his attention first, but had lower status in his eyes, in Jair's eyes, than the guy to his left. So he turns to him. So what can you do in this instance? Well, the way that Trudeau messed up, and I'm not sure he could control himself because it was such a harsh denial, but look at that look on his face. He's clearly shocked, and he's like, oh, you ever seen those NBA players that go for high fives and their teammates so worked up they don't see him? Well, this is especially hard because Jair clearly saw him, knows he got his attention first, and was so quick to turn.
Yep. Shout out to Dame Riss. Welcome to the party. Good to see ya. Context, as bad as he is, I still can't help but feel bad for him. Not me. This is what you get.
Because Jair clearly saw him, knows he got his attention first, and was so quick to turn and diss him. And then the funny thing is, when he turned back around to actually shake his hand, he shakes his hand and then immediately turns right back around. He had no interest in Trudeau. So the best thing that you can do in this is, first of all, he needs to realize he was snubbed by this guy. So once that happens, don't make any effort for some long-winded conversation. So he shouldn't have made the face, but he should have waited for him to turn back around, because you can't just completely drop it, act like it never happened, because that makes it look like you're really weak and you're just letting people walk all over you. So the move is to have no reaction, still stay kind of oriented to the person. And then when they come back to you, shake their hand. But at that point, kind of acknowledge you realize you were snubbed and you be the one to cut it off short. So kind of shake their hand, kind of look away, maybe in a bit of a dismissive way, because that balances out the interaction equilibrium. You never want someone to feel like they have higher status over you or feel like they can talk down to you or make such a ridiculously bold move, because these guys know there's a lot of cameras in these places. They know that everything's being documented, and they know that everything like this, like me breaking this down, Jair knew that there were going to be cameras on it and probably dopes like me analyzing it. So that's a very calculated move. You can't be cool with people treating you that way. So you need to know how to come back from something like that.
So Canada. All right, let's do a few more of these, and then there's something at the end that we definitely want to see.
Same thing, so at least we agree on something. But Biden they really have hurt our country. These people have hurt our country.
Lightning round
was great for as long.
We're gonna do the lightning round so we can get in a few more people. So just put the name and your word of association, like Quantek's been doing. Like where we at? I don't know. You've seen it. Come on. Whatever, you see it. You know what I mean.
As long as he was there, as long as I was there, there was going to be no problem. That I can tell you. We met in Singapore. I got to know him so well. And, you know, I always say that we have enemies from within and we have enemies on the outside. So he would be considered, I guess, an enemy. I think he would be absolutely fine. China, the same thing. I always say if you have a smart president, you don't have a problem with the outside. But you still will have a problem with the inside because these people are sick. They're sick. And And the people from the inside, I mean, they're willing to take down our country. It's incredible. When I look at guys like Adam Shifty Schiff, he's such a bad guy, such a liar with the Russia.
Adam Shifty Shift, such a bad liar.
Russia hoax. It was a total hoax. It went on for 2.5 years, and total exoneration, nothing to do with Russia. The opposite. I was the worst thing that ever happened to Russia because I stopped the pipeline, the Russia pipeline. It's called Nord Stream 2. Nobody ever heard of Nord Stream 2.
Again, imagine you're 19 years old and you don't really care about politics. You just listen to, the what people say, and you think that Trump is just as incapable of speaking as Biden, and he's horrible, and this is what you get. I mean, like, hey, yo, they've been fucking lying. I think this is going to be big for him.
But, it was just 2 years of this stuff, and actually putting our country in danger. Because you put your country in danger with another country. They made up a hoax. It was made up by Hillary and Adam Shifty Schiff and some of these people about Russia. And they did it actually as an excuse for her to lose the election.
Wow.
So they said, why did you lose? She was expected to win. She didn't win at all. When all those states that people thought she was going to win, she didn't campaign hard enough. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe she did, maybe she didn't. All I know is we'd have stadiums with 50, 70,000 people. She'd go and she'd have 150 people. And I used to say, why am I going to lose Michigan if I have 75,000 people and she has 100? Why am I going to lose that? It turned out to be right. We won states that hadn't been won by Republicans for decades. And it was an amazing thing. But getting along with these people is really getting along with the foreign leaders. If you're smart, our country is safe. If you're stupid, and that's a problem. We have stupid people there now. And those people are very dangerous right now. Right now, I'm hearing there's going to be an attack tonight by Iran of Israel. They're going to be attacked tonight. I'm telling you right now. I hear it just through the same waves. There's no top secret information or anything.
Right.
But I hear that Israel is going to be attacked tonight. If I were president, nobody would even be talking about that word because it wouldn't happen 100%. And it's so. But when you have Pelosi and when you have Schiff and you have
all right.
People, he's a billion is legal.
Damn.
Pretty small. The
Is
Damn.
I want to see Willis.
Right, Fanny Will.
He went off.
Thank you. You have two.
This is named Young Thug. Fair.
President.
Oh, is
Listen,
that
I'm
it?
just gonna switch this. So I know Fanny Willis has treated you very unfair. I have a friend who's currently being treated unfair by her. He's a rapper named Young Thug.
Yeah.
And I was
I
just
heard that. Actually.
yeah. I just
we'll hear this.
I just
We'll
was
go
wondering
to
if there's a way that we can make sure you get treated fair. That's all.
So I've heard about him, and I heard he's being treated very unfairly by her.
Yeah.
And I would tell her she's got to treat these patriots that are being all terrible. They're going after him. And I hear Young Thug is being treated. I heard the name.
Yeah.
I heard it from other people where they say he's being treated very unfairly.
Very unfair.
So he's got to be treated fairly.
Please.
We gotta hear what he's got to say about
Let's see who we got
Zelensky.
we got a couple more people left.
Okay.
Got some, hopefully some good ones. Well,
We'll go for a little while because clearly he's talking for a while, and then I got to show you what's at the end.
He was very good with me because when they were doing the Russia hoax, they said I did something with him on a phone call, and basically I congratulated him on his winning the presidency.
Right.
And said some other things which turned out to be perfect, better than perfect. If he sees any corruption, please report it to the Attorney General of the United States, which we have an agreement with the country. We have actually a signed contract with them, a very important one, that because Ukraine has always been known as very corrupt. I don't know if you know that. It has been a very corrupt country. I think the people are great, but it's been very corrupt. And I said, if you find any corruption in the country, you should report it immediately to the Attorney General. I did say that. And it was a very good thing to say. It turned out I was 100% right in saying it. So they made up a phone call.
The phone says corrupt.
Fortunately, the phone was essentially.
I was thinking fake. I was just thinking poser. Like he with the military clothes all the time, just poser. You're a fucking poser.
Taped. The call was essentially taped. I didn't know this, but a lot of times when you're talking foreign leaders, they have tapes or they have stenographers. And we had two professional, really great military stenographers. So every word. So when they said I did these things, I said, no, I didn't. And then I said, was that taped or did they have the stenographers? The answer was yes. And they got all the way down the line to impeach me. They wanted to impeach me over this phone call, a single phone call. And I
10% for the big. Oh, no, wait, that was about. Okay.
Knew that I had them because I had the tape or the stenographers, everything perfect. Every word.
Got him.
And then they did the impeachment. And just before that, because I remember Nancy Pelosi was crazy, we can't impeach him. Look at what the phone call was. She saw the phone call.
Yeah.
And then they decided, well, let's do it anyway. Can you believe how bad these people are?
Horrible.
Let's do.
Unfortunately, yes. I'm getting to that point where I'm not really surprised with how dirty these people are. Shout out to Holly. Thank you so very much for hanging out. You have a fantastic night. I really, really do appreciate you. So why don't we do this? If you got some time, I'm gonna skip to the end here with the good stuff, where there's another gift. There's another gift that our boy.
What do you like walking on? What side do you like walking on?
Doesn't matter.
Yeah, you look good from both sides. Yeah, it doesn't really matter at all. X, come on up.
Damn, he's tall. Fucking Trump is like 6'3", right? So I mean, not like tall, but I mean, like I thought he would be a shorter dude.
Outside with the truck. Come on. Yeah. By the way, do you like my buddy Felix's shirt?
I love that.
Felix, by the way, Mr. Trump.
Oh, there's that. What's his name? What's the XQC?
Yeah, you got the grills on. I like that. Hey,
Poser.
That's what I noticed. I noticed the grill. Nice to see you. Thank you. Congratulations.
All right. Well, you can already see the gift.
Yeah, I can. Wow.
You can't miss it.
Can anybody who has not already seen this guess what the gift is? Just throw out a guess. If you're right, then you win.
That's an Elon.
It is an Elon.
Wow.
Shout out to Mr. Musk.
That's beautiful. Hey,
So-
that is beautiful.
Am I going to close the door really quick? Just I want to show them the wrap. Check out this wrap and let me know your honest thoughts.
I think it's incredible. I think it's incredible.
A little better.
Well, you know what they did? AI. What Google did is they took, or they let it happen. See the Secret Service agents?
Yeah.
They're angry in there. They put smiles on their face.
Right.
You heard about that?
Yeah, no.
That's just terrible.
Yeah, I know. But that's how easy it is to do.
Wait, what? Wait a minute.
See the secret they did? AI. What Google did is they took, or they let it happen. See the Secret Service agents?
Yeah.
They're angry in there. They put smiles on their face.
Right.
Okay. See. Let's try smile. Let's see what that gives us. Altered. Why are they always so goddamn so small? Yeah, you can see. I mean, but even from this picture, you can see this versus. Here, let me put this here and get rid of that.
You heard about that?
Yeah, no.
That's just terrible.
Yeah, I know. But that's how.
So that's the picture. And so you can see where she is here. I mean, obviously, it's seconds later. Smiles. Why? Why did you do that? Why? What? Who? What? Why? What?
What?
I don't get it. I mean, it's cool, but I don't know if it's just a TikTok thing, but TikTok is amazing at tearing down this horrible manifestation of engineering. Because it's all part of the plan. I had not heard of that until he just said it.
They put smiles on their face.
Right.
You heard about that?
Yeah, no.
That's just terrible.
Yeah, I know. But that's how easy it is to manipulate everything.
It's a little bit scary.
Yeah, it is. It's very scary. We need like a system where we can quickly fact check things and see if it's real and authentic.
Yeah. And right now they don't have that.
No, they don't.
That's the problem.
So I know we're not going to drive anywhere, but I was wondering if you wanted to like listen to like a song in here.
Let's go.
All right, cool. This is how you open it up.
It is incredible.
Yeah, it is. I'll get on the other side.
Like, just imagine, bro. Imagine, like, let's not even say you. Just imagine your excitement if I was making this video. Imagine my excitement making that video. Imagine his excitement. Just, this is history. This is history. Yeah, cancel them. You have to smile if you want to be part of the Secret Service. Don't worry about sloped roofs, but you better be smiling.
I'll get on the other side.
Unfortunately, they do have some copyrighted music here. So they lost some.
It says timeout started.
Okay.
Let me just try this one more time.
Is it hooked up to the Wi-Fi?
Should be.
See, even on here, they can't get the damn truck started.
Yeah, I think we're live. Let's see. We'll know in a second if we're live right now. Let me know if we got a live on the. We good? We back? We good?
I mean, look at that. I mean, come on. Come on. That's fucking gangster. Just sitting in a Cybertruck with Donald J. Trump. God damn.
Oh, we're good. All right. Now, this is cool.
It's very good.
I've never even seen you in a car before.
Not too many. that's look at the playlist, huh?
This is your playlist.
It's a good, yeah.
Your team picked out.
Yeah.
You want to pick a song? Let's test out this
so
sound.
let's try it. And you know, some of the artists I like better than others, but I like the other song better. So it's always tough.
Who's like your top 3 artists?
Well, we love Frank Sinatra, right?
Of course.
And you know, there's a couple that I really like, but I don't like the people, so I don't want to really mention their name. But look at this list as an example. So it's such a great list.
Big ass head. Look, I mean, unless he has a tiny head, which I mean, his jaw is here. You draw that across. That only goes right to here. This head is this hat is clearly sitting atop his head, so we could say the top of his head is probably about here, and it only goes here. So yeah, he got a big ass head. That ear looks, I mean, healed though, right?
Aren't the Beatles always good?
Come on, they're the best.
Rolling Stones are always good.
Choose one. Let's choose what you like to choose. You swipe like this.
Oh yeah. That's fantastic, huh?
Somebody guess what he's going to choose.
Like the Beach Boys. We always like the Beach Boys.
We do like the Beach Boys.
Who doesn't like the Beach Boys? How about if we did the following? How about thinking that it's going to come back under proper management? How about California Dreaming?
Let's do it.
So unfortunately, obviously, they have to block out the music, but we can take a look.
Let's see how good the system is.
That's a good looking system.
It is, right?
Yeah, so they have to copy that out, obviously, and they're hanging out. But I mean, you know, like just sitting in a Cybertruck, jamming out with the former and most likely next president of the United States of America, after having him on your live stream as the first streamer, right? There's never been somebody who has had a show like this. Like this is a first, right? Wild. And I mean, just chilling, just hanging out. How many times do we see situations that are super contrived to make the politician look relatable, and it fails miserably? This is organic. This is authentic. This is what this is. I think there's a little bit, if there's something here, there might be.
This is by far the best.
Oh. I think this, and then MJ.
This is by far the best live stream I've ever done. I want to say thank you.
Well,
and I do want to say I do want to do a little victory dance with you. I want to step out the car, blast the music, and dance, because I just had the best stream ever. You were right. You called it right before. What did you? You called me in the room and you said, "Watch, we're gonna have the most hits ever."
I think you will. And do you know what the hits are yet? Do you know?
No. I want to.
When will you know?
We crashed multiple times.
I think you'll crash. Yeah.
I think we're gonna see. I'm gonna get all the analytics, the real live view count, everything.
Well, you'll let me know, but I think you'll have the Biggie show. You know, Nelk by far their biggest.
I know. I hated it when.
All right, so let's see the dance. They dance in together. A dance with Donald Trump. A dance with Donald Trump. I mean, this is marketing. This is PR. This is how you get in touch with young people. And
I'll tell you about TikTok. Trump is going to keep TikTok going, whereas Biden and Harris have no idea what it means. And all it's going to do is be good for China the other way. So we're going to save TikTok. They want to destroy TikTok. So all the people on TikTok, vote for Trump.
Let's go. Vote for Trump if you like TikTok. I love my TikTok. But I mean, that I think is going to be huge in terms of what is expected of a presidential candidate. the same way that when Obama was all over Facebook, and now you have to have an online presence in order to be someone taken seriously. You have to have those numbers. You have to have followers. You have to have engagement. I think this is a game changer. Shout out to Elizabeth Ellington coming in at the last minute saying, as a Gen Z person, Adin Ross is one of the most annoying streamers, but this is great for marketing and campaigning to a new base. There we go. Gen Z approved. So I think that was really cool. I really do think that was, like I said, historic. And maybe it wasn't the most heady and deep conversation. They didn't get into the weeds about much. But we have to understand what it was supposed to be. This is, in many people's eyes, an introduction to the real Donald Trump. They've heard everything on the news. They've heard Orange Man bad for the last 10 years. And 10 years for them being 18 or 19 or 20 years old is half of their life. So half of their life. And today, they finally saw, well, actually, I can make my own decision about who Trump is because I saw him live, uncut, no edits, nothing. And I definitely suggest, if you're interested, go back and there was a couple other, I think there was a couple pictures that we'd skipped over. And then, he had a lot to say about Xi Jinping and he had a lot to say about Zelensky. So I definitely suggest going back to check that out. But I think that's big. So now that we are near the end and we are headed over to the after party, guys. So if you would like to be, in the after party, just join the Let Us Speak voice channel now. Don't wait. Just do it now. Do it now. Because if you're not there, I'm not going to nag you. And I don't want to be annoying and be like, well, come hang out with me. So you tell me, go there now. Carl, I don't know who this is. Let's see. I'm going to see. Can anybody help me? Does anybody have a clue or does anybody know? I may not be the judge of personality that you are, doctor, but I do know when someone is lying to me. No? I don't know. We'll come back to that. So thank you. Big shout out to our Rumble ranter, Zippy DSM Lee, with 3 separate Rumble rants. Thank you so very much. And of course, our sponsor of the stream, the God Daddy himself, Cody Brooks. Thank you so very, very much, man. I really, really do appreciate it. I cannot tell you how much your support means to me. And that goes to everyone here. The fact that not everybody is in the position to be able to open their wallet and all that stuff. I completely understand that. I'm not donating to places where I don't, see like, oh, maybe they'll see my name. Like, I get it. I'm not in the position to do that. Those of you that are, it means so much to me. And because this is what I want to do with my existence here. I don't believe in an afterlife. I believe this life is all we have. And what I want to do with that time is create a better world for us and those that come after us. And I just can't do that alone. I wish I could. I would never bother another soul if I could. But I need you guys. And so many of you have been coming through, whether you are just here for the stream, if you're commenting and engaging with the conversation, especially if you join the Discord, guys. Again, it is absolutely free. It is absolutely free to join the Discord server, and we're in there all the time, 24/7. In there having conversations, sharing videos, asking questions about, this, that, everything, and, just kind of chilling and hanging out. It's a great place to meet new people and meet people who care about things. Even if you don't necessarily agree with their positions. We got some people on the left. We got some people on the right. We got some people who are Christians. We got atheists. But everybody there wants to have interesting conversations and wants to do something that can move our society forward. So if that is something you're into, then it's fucking free. And I can already see Guam Tech and Nick in the after party. If you'd like to join those, again, guys, you can join as a member right below the screen here. There's a bunch of different levels with different stuff, but it starts at just $2.99 a month. And at the very, very least, that gets you 12 after parties. And if you don't like it, you can just cancel it. But I think it's going to be worth your time. So thank you. Yeah, unfortunately, Elizabeth, you got to make sure you are here 8 p.m. Eastern every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. But of course, the replay is there for you. And again, I'd love to see you in the Discord and talk about whatever it is that y'all want to talk about. So thank you so very, very much again. Oh, thank you, guys. You have a fantastic night. I really, really cannot tell you how much I appreciate you guys, especially Zippy and Cody. You guys are pillars of this community, and I all of you should say thank you to them, because I wouldn't be able to do this without them. So thank you. Once again, we have Morty here, my co-host, and I have been your host, Lutch, aka the Indian Jesus, here to resurrect the second coming of common sense. Until next time, guys, we are out of here. Peace.